This is really cool. You're my #1 customer.
Just look at the fucking mess in here. The shit, the disarray, the disorganisation, and look.
Enough from me. We're gonna have the games do our talking.
It's Raw! What's up, everybody? It is Jez7780 here. What grinds my gears with another Monday Gaming Grindhouse. And your co-host, Frogs. What's up, Frogs?
Man, I'm just, man, we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, man, we got so much to talk about. We got so much to do.
Talk about.
I know.
There's a lot of fraud crap going on.
Oh, shit, he's getting into that. Oh, damn.
Yeah, but we got a lot to talk about, though. There's a lot of frauds out here.
Oh, yeah.
Games are clapping people's cheeks, and people are getting exposed by gaming.
Frog go right into it, baby. He's going right.
Not only gamers in our community, we're talking about people who are actually reviewing the games.
Oh, man, he's going right in. We didn't even, I didn't even do the shout outs to all the grinders that were here because I was 10 minutes late. What a mess. This place is like a crack house. The Frog is ready to go, man. He wants to rip open that friggin' Grindsboard and rip a new ass. What's up? Dylan Rafferty. Let me shout out to all the grinders in here. They were yelling at me. We were in here. Yo, Dylan Rafferty was here. We got Mog. We had Febreze was here, bringing in the freshness. He was over here. We had Buck Roger, the game night. Yo, he's here for another stream. Jamal King, what's up? The Unknown, how you doing? Oh, my God, I almost dropped my goddamn computer. Holy shit. That would have been some horrible start right there. Yo, I better fix this thing. My whole freaking computer's going to go down. There we go. Hold on. Jamal King, shout out for Gordon Ramsay. Yes, that was the Gordon Ramsay. Yo, what's up? Who else was here? I saw Curtis, what's up, man? No problem. We just started. Guys, as you're coming in to the Grindhouse, leave your shoes on. God damn it, you don't have to take off your shoes. Hit that like button and share out this video because we are going wild tonight, man. I wanted to get more grinds, but sound. Oh shit, Frog is ready, man. So anyway, before we get into the nitty gritty, as they say, we are going to just do a very general thing of what you've been doing as the people are winding up. They'll be lined outside at the Grindhouse. The Grinds doors just opened. They're coming on in. J Cat just walked in. What's up, J Cat? How you doing? Leave your shoes on. Come on in the Grindhouse. Welcome. What have you been playing besides, we know the game that we're going to talk about is going to be the major topic, but what other things besides Returnal have you been playing?
Besides Returnal, let's see. I've been playing some COD here and there. What else have I been playing besides Returnal? On Xbox, I've been just looking at it. On let me stop. No. I've been playing some COD here and there. Mostly it's Returnal because I'm really addicted to it. But just when I'm, we'll get into it. When I'm not playing that game, I'm just playing like COD or I find myself kind of like, dreaming about, playing Mass Effect a little bit later this month. Because I think that's going to be my offline game. I'm super excited about that. But there's a lot of other games I've been dabbling, but not really been taking serious. Like I'll play some games here and there. Like I've been playing Mortal Shell. I played a little bit of it. I was like, oh, this is interesting because it's my first time playing it. What else have I been playing? I'm trying to think of a game. I will say I have dove back into the Ratchet and Clank game. because I do own my PS3. I never got rid of it. I have all the Ratchet.
Yes, you were playing that. You were telling me about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I was playing them, and I was like, you know what? Why did I never get into this series? Like, and I don't know what it is. It's just I was always more of a Jack and Dexter fan. So I think maybe that's what it is. Not that Ratchet and Clank is bad. I'm always been a Jack and Dexter fan. I like that adult kind of humor. And so now I'm diving back into some Ratchet and Clank games. I'm gonna try. Keyword is try to beat all the ones that I have, which I have every single one. Which there are a lot of them.
Yeah, there were a lot.
Here's a problem with playing some of those games. Even if there was a boost mode, I don't think it would really help. Those games, I think some of those games just need to be, they need to be redone on a level of because for instance, Ratchet and Clank, was it Quest for Booty, and I think what was the other one? Cracking
the Quest from Mike Booty.
Oh well, no, it's called Ratchet and Clank. It's called Ratchet and Clank: A Quest for Booty. And
man, did they have games at the end of that game? Does Booty find the games?
I didn't find
Booty bring the games.
There are 2 Ratchet and Clank games that I own that don't even have trophies.
Really?
They came out back in the PS3
Quest
days
for more booty.
Yeah, so I'm just like, they need to go back and revisit some of these games. It's not that they didn't sell well. You know what? And we're gonna get into it, but we're gonna talk about.
The Ratchet and Clank's on the board. We're gonna talk about that Ratchet and Clank.
But we're gonna talk about boosting mode and.
I'm
gonna tell you what I think. How I kind of feel about boost mode.
All right. Well, we're gonna get into that.
We're gonna get into it.
We'll get into that. And then
I can't wait.
Yeah. So I've been doing besides Returnal. Damn, I've been really just I've been doing Days Gone. I finished.
Nice.
I've been doing Days Gone. Been doing that. And then, that game is just, I always say.
I can't wait till you beat it. So
I know, but now I'm addicted. I'm addicted to friggin' Returnal, and we'll talk about that.
Yes,
but right now, it is on. I'll talk about it. But anyway, the other thing is I've been doing. I finished the Crash Bandicoot. I finished that, and then I started playing. No, what else was interesting is that I was going back and playing. As I was waiting for Returnal to download, I was just messing around with some of the games, like the other Ratchet and Clanks, because after seeing Ratchet and Clank, like you said, you went back and started playing them. So I was like, most of them I have on PlayStation now. I do have the other one, which I'm about halfway through that one on PlayStation 4. But I
don't know.
Yeah, the other ones I don't have them.
Sly Coopers, I don't know.
Yeah, I get all that stuff from PlayStation now because I never had a PlayStation 3, and I don't even. I sold it. I had one, but I sold it when the PlayStation, I sold it for the Xbox One. I sold it at Best Buy. I was to trade it in. They were going to give me $100 for it. And the person next to me says, "You're selling that?" I'm like, "Yeah." They're like, "I'll give you $150 for it." I'm like, the Best Buy person was like, "You do whatever you want." I'm like, "All right, well, here, give me $150 for it." And then I sold it there. So I didn't trade it in at Best Buy. I sold it to somebody right at the counter. It was crazy. That should have been a hint of things to come that I probably shouldn't have gotten rid of it. But at the time I was into the Xbox One and I liked all that stuff that they had, the games and stuff. But now it's it's where we are.
And I'm not gonna lie to you, I have been playing. I just thought about because you said something about PlayStation Now. I have been playing. And this is what I did. It's I think it's maybe just me. I was testing it out. I played Ratchet and Clank on PlayStation Now, being that they had it. I said, let me test it out. And then I went over to my PlayStation 3, and I was like, let me see how different it is. And what I noticed is more or less is just the clarity. It's a little bit. There's 1-to-1. If I was playing on PlayStation Now, I didn't know any better. You couldn't tell me any difference. I wouldn't know if it was streaming or not. For the most part, it doesn't have any artifact in it. What I did notice is it does look cleaner on a native platform.
They increased it. Did you notice any difference? Because they did increase PlayStation Now. I thought, I don't know if it's my eyes, but I thought, now see, I play on a huge projector. So I wanted to see if they increased the resolution. And when I went back to
I'm
play
playing on an LG TV.
It did look sharper to me streamed. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. It is unfortunately the system doesn't tell you what it's streaming at. So I don't know, but and I don't know if they didn't say anything, would I even notice? But it definitely looks less fuzzy. But I do think that it's definitely improved for streaming to test out. Those are the PlayStation 3 games. The other games you could download, which download those natively.
Right.
And that's another topic
I can
for the
download.
thing.
I download, but that's a whole nother topic for itself. I think streaming the games, I think they still aren't where they need to be. I think it's cool. It does work. But I think that I would prefer to play my games natively. I think that looking at PlayStation Now for what it can do, I do think that it does a good job of what it can do, but I do wish I could play my games natively.
Yeah.
And I don't think that when I stream, I don't think it's a super bad quality. It's just when I play natively in my PS3, I'm like, yo, I can tell which one is native and which is not just by resolution. I can't tell controller-wise, just resolution, because I think that they've mastered, they really, to me, I think that, and I can speak for Sony and PlayStation, now they've mastered the streaming technology, and you really can't tell it lag. There's no latency. There's no latency. But
yes, it was updated, Doc Prince.
Resolution is what I see that's the biggest difference for me.
Yeah. Yo, I'm going to say, the chat is wild. They were waiting at the door, banging on the windows. They kicked the door down. They're now kicking over the furniture. They don't want to hear any of this shit. They want to hear the nitty-gritty. They want to hear the goodness. So they want to go right to the Grindsboard. These grinders, man. Hey, man. Well, what's up, Game Persona? How you doing? Speaking about somebody that was kicking over tables, Gaming Persona and Jay Barry, man, they were rocking. Yo, if you guys are free, man, you can jump in when you guys want. We're going to be talking some stuff. They were intense, too, speaking from the heart, man. Just like that's a neighbor to Grinds My Gears, because we're doing the same shit. It's crazy. But anyway, we're going to go to the Grindsboard, because the grinders, there's no time. Ain't nobody got time for that shit. Got bronchitis. Let's go. We're going to go right to the Grindsboard, because we got these topics. We're alluding to them. Let's get to it. We know what we're playing. We know what's going on. We know the bullshit. Let's go, grinders. Let's go. Let me get my Grindsboard here. Holy shit, here we go. Grindsboard, go. Grindsboard, go. Yes, they came in with their shoes on. They're stomping on my white couch. Holy crap, they're just putting all the mud all over my couch and stuff like that. They just want to go right to the Grindsboard, because they want to see what made it this week with all the bullshit, with all the foolery that's been going on that Frog alluded to. What made it this week to the Grindsboard?
Oh, yeah.
We got it. Here it is. We have, number one, we're going to do frames per second booster. Booster's in the building again. Booster can't make it without a week. We like Booster. Shout out to everybody that likes Booster. Ratchet and Clank Impressions.
Can't get rid of him.
No, can't get rid of Booster. Nobody wants Booster, but he keeps showing up. Ratchet and Clank Impressions, because we had the State of Play. I had that video. There's also some nice little chats on that video if you wanted to see something. I'll talk about that. My new good friend. And we have the PlayStation. This just came out. The PlayStation iOS Fortnite revenue thing. That was pretty interesting. Sony got them by the Fortnite Bulls, if I have to say anything. PlayStation Now games that are coming out. Reviewers don't finish games. Is that okay?
We gotta talk about that.
Oh shit! Talk about that. Oh man, Arnold's funny. He's lit too. Arnold's like, what the hell is this?
There's three things that I'm super excited about. Talking about is that number one, that number 5 you're talking about, and that last one.
Frog wants number 5, and then and number 6, PlayStation Discord integrate. That was interesting. I saw that was a little
very interesting.
And then we got a Returnal impression. So we'll see what goes to the grinds table, but man, we are gonna go down this list. So the first thing, probably the most exciting thing, I guess, for some people, and it's funny, is the reason why I put this as number 1 is because this was the exact same thing. If I go back and go back to Gaming Grindhouse, which I think this is the 16. We said it last week about the trickle bullshit.
Yes.
And you know what? This is what they do. This is what, they trickle out 4 at a time, 5 at a time of these frame per second boosters. And it's okay. And do I have the right number? Shit, I have 16. My God, I got to change it. This is 17.
You know what, Jez? On that note here, I got something for you. Here's a sound. I don't know if you can hear this. This is a sound. This is a sound.
What the hell was that?
it's a sound of Xbox's index incompatibility. They seem to have a problem with just talking about the same old shit. The same.
Frog's going in.
Weren't we talking about this with the last generation?
Yeah.
With, hey, look what we can do to improve these Xbox 360 games. Now they're like, hey, look what we can do to improve these Xbox One games. We don't have new games to give you. We're just going to improve them. You want to play the same old shit for the last 15 years. Really? I don't.
You're my number one customer.
And I don't know. I guess maybe if I was an Xbox cuck, gamer,
oh damn!
And
you're my number one customer.
It was the only system I relied on instead of just saying, I have an Xbox, I have a PlayStation, and it's not about I'm this neutral gamer. It's about where you game. I think if Sony was doing the same thing to me, because that's where I primarily
just
play
that
my
one
PlayStation,
thing, right?
I'd be pissed. And if that was the only thing they were doing, they weren't giving me new games, and all they were talking about boosting my games, I'd be pissed.
Yeah.
$500 for you just to talk about boosting my games, I'd be pissed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah,
man. I know you want to do it.
Let's go. Yeah, let's go. And shout out to almost 1,000 views on last week's show, which is awesome, which is episode 16. But we're gonna go. I'm gonna go into the Grindsboard. Yeah, thank you, Grinders, man. You guys are awesome, supporting the channel. Almost just at 776 subscribers now. It's crazy. So hit that subscribe button if you're new. Maybe it'll pop up. If you don't, if it doesn't pop up because my friggin' widgets are busted his ass, just let me know you subscribed, and I will be playing sound bites for you. And if you want one, I got some sound bites here, and I'll go find one for next week if you put one for request. But definitely let me know if you're new and you're subscribed. If my widget doesn't pop up here, pause. Oh shit! But
and as Jazz is talking about subscribing, maybe I need to put a little shameless plug in there.
Do your plug. I'm finding my quote from last week.
Subscribe to me on. I really would love for you guys to subscribe to. I have a YouTube channel, but my YouTube channel that I mostly stream on is the WYFB crew. I would like you to follow me if you can. I really love it. On Twitter, it's at WYFB2, and that's where you're gonna find all of my streams. I've been posting stuff like last night. Me and Jess stayed up pretty late. And I grinded to beat a boss on.
Oh yeah, I watched that. That was awesome.
And it was intense. So if you guys can sub to me, on Twitter,
Frog, put your links in the chat, and I will, I'll put your thing in the description as well.
Yeah, most definitely, because I don't really plug myself too much, and
definitely co-host of the Grindhouse. It's our house party.
Yeah,
shit. All right, so let's listen to this guy. Speaking of the Grindhouse, who's this guy?
They don't give it.
Whoa, who's he? I'm talking to myself.
But I think what they said is
Frog. No, this is what I said. Ready? This is what I said last week. Ready?
Okay, I'm back. Yeah, from what I was reading, whatever it ran on.
Wait, I'm talking to Frog. Just like clone babies.
As far as the Xbox Series S.
Wait, you're playing Plants and Zombies again? Hold on. Goddamn, Frog, what is the thing with the torture device where they drip on your forehead and they just keep dripping shit on your head and drive you crazy? What the hell they call that?
They drip feed you. We don't even know.
It's that torture thing where they torture you by just dripping little drops on your friggin' head. This is what they do. They announce a feature and they drip feed bullshit out to you for an extra month.
If they're still going to support 360 games, more 360 games, new, because right now they haven't added a new 360 game that I know of.
Oh no, they haven't in the last 2 years. But
it's
1,
great that
2,
they say
3,
they're
4,
back
5,
and
6,
but
7, 8.
Are we really? Like, I don't know. Like,
it's Inception, everybody.
Maybe it's just me being greedy, saying, you talk about backwards
23 games, Frog. 23 games. That's it. 23
games,
and you look at them, Frog, and you go, who's playing them now? That's the thing. You're waiting. Right. Grinders, shut up! They're drip feeding this stuff to you, and you know what? I would, if it was me, I would say, you want to know what? Wait till I have about 80 to 100 games. Hit this guy. Then I will make the announcement of the feature, and I would launch it with 100 games. Boom.
I don't know who this is. Really
I don't know what this is. Here's 5. Here's another 5. Oh wait, hold on. Aaron Greenberg's gonna dress up. He's rubbing his nipples. Here comes another 10 next month. Ooh, and then when you look at it, you go, Battlefield. Titanfall 1. Hey, that was me last week. And look what they did. This week, they go, hey, we heard you, Grinds. We heard you, Frog. So we're going to drop a whole bunch of games in booster mode. FPS boost. Frog, did you see the list? So they just had for FPS booster mode. And where is it right now? Here it is. I'm going to filter this out. So they added finally now up to 97 games. Here we go. Here it is. Fuck Roger said, I should get that guy on, man. His criticism was valid and Microsoft listened, right? So here are the games, Frog. Yeah. We got I don't even want to read this list, but if Grinded, you could see it. Here's the list here. Oh crap, my overlay here. Hold on, let me fix this.
Definitely read it out.
I'll give you.
We gotta have a conversation here.
Oh shit, Frog really he's ready to go into this thing here. So make sure.
Oh yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready to dig into this because we gotta have a conversation here.
Oh man, all right, Frog. Well, we got so we're gonna do the Series X ones, right? So it's got Alien Isolation, 60 frames, Anthem, Assassin's Creed 3 remastered, Rogue remastered to 60, Ezio Collection, Unity, Night War, Battlefield 1, 4 Hardline, 5 Beholder Complete Edition, Behold My Balls, Dead Island Definitive Edition, Dead Island Riptide, Deus Ex, Dirt 4 because Dirt 5 didn't hit. That's at 120. Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, Don't Starve, Dragon Age. And know what I noticed too is like the smaller games are 120. Like we're the big games at the 120, I guess. Like Don't Starve, Golf with Friends at 120, Halo Wars 2, Spartan Assault, the touchscreen game from Windows 8 tablets. That's at 120. Homefront, Hyper Escape, all your Legos that you could imagine. Lego Batman, Jurassic Park, Marvel Superheroes 2, The First, Avengers, Force Awakens. Life is Strange 2, Lords of the Fallen, Mad Max, more retro, Mirror's Edge Catalyst, Time for My Friend Pedro at 120. Yeah, I like that. Moving out, MotoGP not available, but 60 hertz on the S. Super Lucky's Tales, Plants vs Zombies 1 and 2, Prey, Power Rangers, Recore, Sea of Solitude, Shadow Warrior 2, Sleeping Dogs, Smite, Sniper Elite, Steep. Steep is 60 on S. Super Lucky's Tales again. It was a clone. Super Hot is 120. Elder Scrolls is 60. Guardians Within. I'm at the end. Thank God. The Gardens Between. The Lego Movie 2. Movie video game. Titanfall 2. Just 2 Point Hospital. Put me in the goddamn hospital. Holy shit. UFC 4. Unravel 2. Unruly Heroes. Wasteland 3. Watch Dogs 2. Yakuza 6. And Watch Dogs 1. Jesus Christ. That's like a wall at GameStop of used games. So these are the games that they have boosted. But finally they did, I have to say, at least they came in with a lot. And rather than they didn't say 5 of this trash each week. And they just said, here's 47 games. Frog, what grinds your gears?
What grinds my gears is this is the same thing that they went through with the first with the Xbox One, where they said, hey, when we're losing so bad, wait, we got backward compatible 360 games now. And then they stopped at a certain point. And I have a feeling they're going to do the same thing with this list. This is something to give you because we have no actual software to give you. So this is the big, hey, look what we can do. We can boast this stuff to 120 and 60 because we have no software to show. Who is this for? Who the fuck is this for?
They put a section in the Game Pass for it, like the frames per second boost games.
But I'm looking at this game list right now, and I'm just looking at some of the games. I'm not saying all the games are like dog shit, right? But I'm just looking at some of these games. And I'm like, who is this for? Like, who's actually going out to play Battlefield Hardline at 120?
Oh my God.
Who is playing? Like,
whoop, whoop, the sound of the police. That's all I know about that game.
Let me tell you what.
Whoop, whoop.
Number one. If here's my
That's
question.
all that played in that game. Whoop,
are
whoop.
all of these games in Game Pass? That's my question.
Most of them are. I think there's like 40 of them that are in Game Pass. They have a section for frames per second boost games. They don't tell you what the resolutions are though. Remember,
let's
some of
just
them
say
dropped the resolution.
Right, let's just say half these in Game Pass, right? These games have sold to max capacity, and the people who I see talking about Game Pass, and maybe I'm wrong, they probably played these games. Like, they probably achieved what they like. Who's going back to be like, yo, I'm playing Battlefield 4 at 12900 freaking P or 720p? Nobody cares. I can't.
But I think Battlefield might be a relevant one. The other ones, like some of these, do. Homefront the Revolution.
Here's my thing.
Give that game with a side of chicken nuggets.
And it's not that these games are bad, because they have some really good games on this list. My biggest thing is like, who is this for, and why do
it's a trek, man? It's just something they can do. It's just something they're doing.
Why do? When I'm looking at this list, I'm like, even if I'm gonna be honest with you, when I look at this entire list in this entirety, even me as a PlayStation gamer, this doesn't. Even if PlayStation did this, this wouldn't impress me. I've played probably 70% of this game list, and I don't care to go. Either I beat it, or I just like, nope, it wasn't. I don't care to go back to play some of this stuff. I don't understand, like, who this is. That's my biggest point. Is like, who is this for? Who is this for? You know, I don't.
It's the key. I think it's to keep. This is my answer. I think it's to keep people.
Remastered game. I get that. Because you're trying to bring up, like, for instance, Mass Effect. Yeah, it doesn't look as good now. When you kind of like, hey, we can go back and do some things that are different and take some things and configure. You know, I get that. But when you're like, oh, we're just gonna boost these games and look at the games we're giving you, and we're gonna talk about all these great games who is this really for? Like,
it's just what it's doing. I'm going to tell you what I think. I think that this is just like what we spoke about last week about games with gold devaluing Xbox Live. You could see how this is being presented. Oh, this is Major Nelson's, but like Major Nelson has a goddamn section for frames per second boost and back compat, which that was a criticism that you said last week. Considering the back compat, they haven't added new games to the backwards compatibility since the last thing. Look, at E3 2019, we made an important announcement regarding backwards compatibility, and here's their backwards compatibility. In 2019, they said we're not doing it anymore.
You think of gaming as both technology and art.
Yeah, Frog, I'm talking right now. 2019. What happened to back compatibility?
Timeless.
I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that music. I don't need to. Oh, I see the Phil Ness.
I'm pleased to announce Xbox One backward compatibility.
I think that they'll focus on the Xbox One
thieves,
games,
degenerates, lowlifes, thugs,
probably
criminals.
Didn't sell too well. Maybe they can throw some of those in Game Pass. And even then, they were like, well, maybe I just don't know who this is for, and I don't know where their vision is for this console.
Just as if it was an Xbox 360.
When they do
the
stuff
architecture
like
is wildly different.
I don't understand their vision and what they're trying to do.
This is not worth it.
Maybe they're like, hey, the Xbox game and this with us, we can give you more games that run at a higher frame rate. But you notice they don't talk about resolution. I think
some of them does drop the resolution.
I think that if they had came out and said, hey, whatever the Series X can do, it'll be that resolution, and it'll be at this frame rate, this 120 and this 60.
Give me right.
But I don't think that's the case. I think some of them will probably run at whatever the S can run it at, and it'll just run that frame rate. That's what I personally think. It's running at whatever S can do, and they're just like, oh, we can run it at 120 now because it only ran at 720p. I mean, shit. Even within, if I'm not mistaken, ran at like 560 something.
Oh my God, Phil had herpes. What the hell? I was like, Phil had... What the fuck? I'm looking at Phil Spencer, and he had a fucking like sore on his lip, like in front of everybody.
Oh my God.
Corona the stuff. Phil had a fucking sore on his mouth.
I just don't get who this is for. And it's like I said before with Xbox. I think
he bit his lip.
He bit his lip. I think they're kind of. I don't know where their marketing is going.
Dude, whatever. Booster's done. Where's Booster? I gotta play my Booster.
because my whole thing is, okay, you're talking about when you look at the games they're putting on there, the majority of games are really taking advantage, or the systems really taking advantage of this is the X. The S is like, yeah, we can do 60, but I thought the S was supposed to be that 120 machine. You know, I thought it was supposed to be that 1440p 120 machine. I don't know. I think the more I look at Xbox, I think that they made a mistake going into this generation, releasing one very weak console with a one premium console that's comparable, to the PlayStation 5. I'm like, yeah, there's my dogs. You can't do a podcast without my little Yoki. You either go all in or you go home. And I think that, and somebody said, yeah, Battlefield 1
Who is your daddy?
At 160 frames, or 120 frames. But
yeah, it's over here.
And I just think that I just look and I'm just like, I don't get who this is for.
Hey, you know what? The thing is that there's some people that are excited about these announcements, and you know what? They missed out these games, and you paid fun.
Here's the thing,
hey, man,
Jazz.
Whatever, man.
Let's put the shoe on the other foot. You're playing primarily on PlayStation, and PlayStation isn't releasing the first party software like you want, and they come out with this announcement, and they keep telling you they have games. Look, hold on. They keep telling you they have games, but they're not really showing you the games. They're just showing you like, well, oh, here's our new, Ratchet and Clank game. They show you a trailer of what it may look like, or a video, like kind of like they did with Fable, or we watch and they say, here's our new, Uncharted game, and they do like they did with, Halo Infinite, and they show us what it could be, and we're like, wow, this looks really bad. If the shoe is on the other foot, I don't think you should be excited for this, because Microsoft is the one that said they want to push gaming forward, and I'm not saying this is not pushing gaming forward. What I'm saying is, like, this should not be your focus. If this is your focus for a new $500 console and a shitty $299 console, it's like, come on now, like, really? Is it Anthem, a game that is done? Like, you had the nerve to put that on your list? Like,
that was last month's announcement.
Let me tell you, we know you guys are. Look, we know, and this. We know they're in bed with EA. We know they're in bed with EA, but I just like, come on, man. Like, this doesn't impress me. No. This does not impress me at all. And as a gamer, it doesn't impress me. It has nothing to do with me just playing primarily on PlayStation, because I have an Xbox and I want to play good Xbox games on there, but this shit doesn't impress me.
Mm-hmm.
This does not impress me.
Speaking of Game Pass, while we're in Booster, did you see the games coming out for Game Pass so far announced? They have Just Cause 4 Reloaded, Outlast 2, Psychonauts, which I was like, why is that not on there? Red Dead Online, and Cloud and Console. That's not on PC. Steep. Oh, my God. FIFA, which that came in through EA Play, so that's on EA Play on both PlayStation and Xbox. Dragon Quest Builders 2, console PC. Final Fantasy XX2 HD Remaster. And Remnant from the Ashes is going to PC. That is your, so far, May coming to Game Pass stuff. So I don't see them following up the hotness of April that they try to do with Outriders and MLB. But... dude, hey, what's up, T-Rock? How you doing?
And you know another thing, Jazz, here's another thing.
But that wraps up the green coverage, right?
A lot of their console and PC, it's like they're trying to really merge those two markets. I'm like, oh, if you have Game Pass on your... Look, I'm going to tell you,
who's going to play Red Dead Online on the cloud?
PC people are being overcharged, because what you're doing with PC people is you're like, well, screw you. You don't want to pay for Xbox Live? We'll find a way to make you pay for this whole price,
Yeah.
And so my whole thing is like, in a kind of way, it's kind of a slap in the face of gamers who just like, I don't need an Xbox, I'll game on PC, because you're paying a price, and if you didn't have the console, you have a PC, you don't have to pay for online. But why is the price the same? It should be cheaper. You don't need. I don't know what. Once again, this irritates me for the fact that it's like, it doesn't move the needle forward. It kind of says to me like, you have no software to show. It's gonna be another wait until E3 next year.
Well, that's what we're waiting for E3, right?
Look, we're gonna see things this E3 that won't come out until probably 2 years from now. And then when it comes out, they're going to be in development hell, and they're going to blame it on COVID, which they need to stop doing. And then guess what? They're going to be like, oh, the reason Fable wasn't as good. And like, here's my thing. I'm hoping that every first party game, every game that I know about that can come out of school, I'm hoping it's good. I want it to be good because it gives me more to play. But when you just like don't show me anything, it doesn't want to make me invest in your console. It doesn't want to make me invest in your ecosystem.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make me feel like it doesn't make me feel great about where gaming is going for your gaming division. Like Sony and Nintendo constantly giving me new software. Microsoft is like, hey, just buy a $500 box and play these old games at a higher, you know, frame rate. That's better than anything, you know. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, who really is like, oh, we need all these Battlefield games at a higher frame rate and Dragon Age. And you know what, EA, any game you can give us to put a higher frame rate, we need this.
Yeah.
Like, who needs that?
Well, the thing is like we do this Game Pass thing. Here's your Game Pass for May. You know, speaking of, the thing is that they are trying to just this whole stuff is, like I said before, about adding value to Xbox Live. Taking away value from Xbox Live, and what they're trying to do is add value to Game Pass, similar to like they did back in the day with Live, where they added Netflix to it and stuff, and made it seem more valuable to retain customers. They're doing the same thing with Game Pass now. They're just decreasing the value of Xbox Live by like taking away the need for it to be free to play games, and also games with gold suck. I'm telling you, this is for the people.
You know what I would really love? I would really love to
just
hear somebody
stay.
who's really an Xbox ecosystem, who that's their primary place to play. And I would love to hear the person who is like, this is great for me because, you know, this is pushing. I don't see where I don't understand the big deal. Like, this doesn't impress me. You know, I think it'd be more impressive if they're like, hey, you know, we'll have a Gears, you know, 2, 3 remake, and they're gonna run it. You know,
if you want to talk about game development, and I think this is where a lot of the frustration comes from, and we'll end on this topic here with the Game Pass stuff, is that I do think that you know, I think the frustration comes from they showed Hellblade 2 in 2019. We have no updates on Everwild. Master Chief, you know, Halo Infinite was shown and was a disaster in July and had to get delayed for over a year. And now they're talking about day one guns. They're talking about service games, and they don't know where they're going to put the classic rifle and the classic pistol. And like, they're better to make sure that Halo Infinite comes out fully fledged, and that you don't launch that on day one and then say, hey, you know, well, oh, we hear you. We'll put in the stuff that you want. We don't know what Halo free-to-play Infinite looks like. What is that going to be? I got some speculation that it's not going to have all the game modes. It'll probably have like 2 game modes. Big Team Battle, Invasion. I'm sure those won't be there day one. They'll add those over time because it's a free-to-play multiplayer. Like, there's a lot of questions going on with Halo, and they're not answering them. They're telling you about the music. And then you talk about other games where Everwild, they showed, we don't know much about that. Avowed, what's that look like? Bethesda's game, everybody's talking about this stuff. The thing is that Microsoft is not doing a good job curating the lineup and really trying to show the games that are coming. So, like, when you get this other stuff, you're not frustrated going, this is all you guys have been talking about, not just this year, last 3 goddamn years. It's been at Game Pass. It's been the cloud. Cloud 2 years ago was the hot shit in 2019, and then Google came out and fell on their face. Now they're trying to reinvigorate it, going, remember cloud? Cloud has came and went and has failed. Luna, you know, Stadia, they have shitted on streaming services, and it has failed. And the thing is that when we talk about streaming with PlayStation Now and stuff like that, it's on the console. How many times you see people with a phone strapped into 1 gigabyte stuff over, like, in front of their TV going, oh, it works. Go take that shit to McDonald's and tell me how it works. Go take that shit to the library. Go take that shit over to friggin' Starbucks and tell me how that works. That's the problem. They're trying to introduce, you're using cloud for you to play on a phone. That's not where those games live. Those games live on console. That's where they should be played. Now, if you want to stream them to my console and let me sample them and then determine if I want to download them, that is a benefit. But guess where the one place xCloud is not, Frog? One place xCloud is not is on the console. They don't have any streaming capabilities to the console. It's all using the streaming and going on a phone. I would love to know how many Game Pass subscribers are just phone players. I would love to know, or they're from PC. Half those Game Pass subscribers that they have are pretty much just Xbox Live people reimagined to Game Pass because they got the dollar bill Phil deal for 3 years. So that's Microsoft's use of cloud. But the thing is that I think the frustration comes from them just falling flat on their face when it comes to the big games that people are waiting for and expecting. And you know what? Let them burn. Enjoy your games. Frames per second Booster. Shout out to Booster. Speaking about service games, PlayStation Now had 3 games drop for PlayStation Now. We got Streets of Rage 4, which I think was in Game Pass. I think that launched in Game Pass. It launched in Game Pass for PC. I played it last year.
Which is a good game.
Neo, which they should have done Neo 2. I wish they did that one. They did Neo, which they gave away for PlayStation Plus already, Neo 1. Now it's in PlayStation Now. And then Jump Force, which is a game that was pretty much not good. I know it was showed on Xbox's stage. Pretty much this game was not that great.
For it.
Yeah, and then it didn't do too hot. So probably I'll just try it out to see that. But those are the 3 games PlayStation Now. Hey, at least I knew them and not games of gold where you wouldn't find those on the bottom of a dollar bill Phil Walmart bin. At least I heard of these games. So, not bad games for PlayStation Now. PlayStation Now still doing their stuff. And these will be available on May 4th. And I think Jump Force will be available to August. And Streets of Rage will be available to November. So plenty of time to finish those things. And I wish it was Neo 2. That would have been cool because they already gave away Neo 1. But I've been seeing that. They kind of overlap their PlayStation Plus and stuff. We jumped to number 4 here on there. But hey, Streets of Rage 4 is definitely an awesome game. I played that at PAX last year. The last PAX ever because of Corona. And now, that thing. And that
we got Chris Righteous in here.
Yo, what's up, Chris?
Righteous, hear his take on it. I mean, maybe he has a different.
On booster mode, I'm sure he has. I'm sure.
So what we talking about?
FPS booster mode.
Hey, what's up?
Booster. What's up, Chris?
So what do you think about that whole Xbox boosting all these games?
Boost.
I don't know, man.
I mean, as far as that in itself, I think it's dope. I think it's cool. I mean, like the preservation. Microsoft is really tackling this head on, the preservation of old backwards compatible games, right? And they're doing good jobs at boosting. So I think that is pretty cool. But there's always a but. But to me, it's like it still doesn't make the console or the brand for me personally more appealing because it's like these games I already played or already own on my PlayStation, and while on the other side on PlayStation side they're giving me new experiences. I'm playing Returnal and shit like that. They're giving me new games, new experiences, which is what I want on the main console. So it's like the technology is cool, but they're really focusing on this because of, in my opinion, because of their lack of their new games. Like there's like no shit that's really coming out for Xbox except for like Halo Infinite. That's the biggest one. Maybe a Forza will come out this year or whatnot. But it's like so the tech is cool, but I'm like, okay, cool. Where are the new next gen games? Where are the new games that you're gonna provide? I mean, I can't even really say that because I'm not even a fucking customer of Xbox no more. Like, so it's like, to me, it doesn't really
you gotta try
matter.
To make
like,
your customer, dude. Like, that's the thing.
I know, but I'm at the point to where it's like
it's just let them burn.
It's like it's just like I don't care. Like
just let them burn.
If there's a time in this generation where there are games that Xbox have that I really want to play, I will get an Xbox. That's no issue for me. I got an Xbox One at the beginning of last generation.
But what you're saying is, and I guess I'm trying to make sure. Are you saying that in a sense, like other than that, they haven't really moved the needle for you too much?
No, they haven't. They haven't. Like for me, like this whole like I give props, right? Like I'm not gonna slander them having this technology to where they can boost some of these old games or whatever, because every now and again I'll go back and play something, but that's very few and far in between when I go back to re-experience an old game that I haven't. I won't only do that with some few games that I do that with. Most of the time I've been playing new games. Like this whole year, right? We're in the 5th month, right? We're already in May.
Yeah.
This whole year, there was only one game that I've played before years ago, and that was Nier Automata. But that's because I went for the platinum, right? Other
Which
than
is
that,
a good game by the
it's an amazing game. Yeah, it's an amazing game. But other than that, guess what? I got East 9, which was a brand new game, came out this year. I got Persona Strikers, which is a brand new game that came out this year.
So basically, you progressed forward with the games that came out.
I got Nier Replicant. I just got my PlayStation 5
I can't wait to play that.
Yeah, I got my PlayStation 5 about a month ago. So then I had all of the launch games that I went through, like Demon Souls, Astrobot, Miles Morales. Now I'm playing Returnal, which is a brand new game, and I'm still playing Nier. And then, and a couple weeks from now, like a month from now, Ratchet and Clank. So it's like I've been on my PlayStation even before I had the PS5. When I had my PS4, right, a month or two ago,
playing new games.
I was still playing new games. There wasn't one where I was like, well, let me go back and play this old game. Or when I got on my PlayStation 5, I went back. I went back just I downloaded Days Gone, even though I beat Days Gone, but I downloaded to see, because I wanted to, when I first got the PS5, I wanted to test out the backwards compatibility and see the update that they give. You know,
I think everybody does that.
It could have been any game. It could have been God of War. It's just Days Gone was the first game.
But you know what, Chris? The one thing is that I hear people say that, like, you know, you go back and play some old games, and again, there's nothing wrong with playing old games, but like you said, you also have to mix up old and new. And the other thing is, too, is that some of these games
that should be the main focus of a new console.
Exactly. And the other thing is that these games, God of War, Days Gone, like, these games were big. Ghost of Tsushima is another one. Like, these games were big in their day. Like, these are legacy games. Like, these games are, like, big games. When you look at some of these games on this list, like, you're like, Dead Island Riptide, Dead Island Definitive Edition, Dirt 4.
Anthem, Anthem says
Anthem.
That just says it right then and
Homefront.
there. Like, that seals the deal. Like, I just don't understand.
Lego Worlds, like Mad Max.
And I don't mean, my opinion, right, is this. I don't have a problem with them doing this whole boost mode, but my problem is this is the only thing they're talking about. I know people are going to say, oh, it's because E3 is coming up. They don't want to give away, you don't put your eggs in one basket. We've been dealing with this since the original Xbox One has came out. Everybody, for every year the Xbox One has came out, is waiting to E3. You're going to see what's going to happen, and nothing freaking happens the next year.
Well, this one's a big one, though. Maybe this one.
And my whole thing is, like, this E3, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, in my opinion, this E3
you're my number one customer.
Like, that all guns have to be. We were saying this last year. We were saying that
last year, man.
And it didn't happen. And look, it didn't happen. This E3 should be like all guns blazing.
They got to show
like
gameplay on everything.
They're shooting everything that their competitors show.
They need to,
because people can say it's not a competition, but there's competitive nature to it. It's not about fanboying. It's a competitive nature to it. Your studios have to show the talent. And my unfortunate, I guess is my opinion, I don't think that the Xbox and Microsoft's Xbox Game Studios, they haven't shown the talent to the point where you're like, yo, I can name 10 games, from the Xbox One generation that were only on Xbox that were by their studios that they brought the talent. They really, so like, bam, here you go. Not that many, because they're not studios they either own or they don't own the IPs. And it's like, really? It's like, I kind of like had this feeling in my heart, and I'm gonna say this so we can get off this. I don't believe anything that anybody says from that camp over there about only on Xbox, exclusive to Xbox, because then we end up seeing that game on PlayStation, and then it either looks better, it plays better, or it sells better. And so it's kind of one of those things where, they'll be like, oh, only on Xbox, and then like 3 months from then, we're like, yo.
Oh, yeah. I saw that rumor with Stalker shit. But you know what? I don't even give a crap. Stalker's been in development for goddamn 10 years.
I still am of the belief that Ori is going to come to PlayStation 5 and PlayStation 4.
Ori.
Look, and my whole thing is
I do want to play Ori. I heard Ori.
It's not just a bad game.
You can get it. Like, you can play it on PC, or whatever like that.
I guarantee, yeah, but
I can play it on the Switch.
But here's my whole
thing. On the Switch. There you go.
A game like that would resonate so well on the PlayStation platform because people on PlayStation would support it. I don't think that, and that's why I say Xbox, the whole Game Pass is great for Xbox people. They don't support their games. The difference between the PlayStation brand and Nintendo brand, those people, those two parties, people support their games on their console for the most part.
Well,
and you know the thing, the thing is, Frogs, is like, yo, there's stats and data to back that up as facts. So it's like when we say that, right, and then because sometimes I'll say that and I'll get a pushback from
Dude, it hurts
an
my,
Xbox
it
hurts an Xbox fan that be like, no, look, I bought this game, I bought that game, it's like, that's cool, but you're one of the few of that entire fan base that does that. The rest of them, they don't really buy games like that, man.
Hey,
there
are Xbox fans that do buy games, that will play games.
But what I'm saying is like,
but they're not as big. It's not as much.
But Captain Crunch, Sunset Overdrive is owned by Insomniac. That's why they're not going to get an enhancement. That's an Insomniac.
Well, speaking of Insomniac, the Ratchet and Clank impressions, dude, when they show the Ratchet and Clank, this is the thing I want to talk about. Like, this thing, we'll do real quick on this because I have a whole video on the Ratchet and Clank, games, talking about new games and things going on here. And I don't know why this is not going full screen. But, man, that Ratchet and Clank demo, that state of play was friggin' lit. All right, it looked incredible. It looked next gen. People's mouths were down to the floor. Right. This is the thing we're talking about. Insomniac.
Past the floor.
Exactly. Man, yo, it was incredible. The thing is that
incredible. Yes.
Insomniac, which was purchased in 2019, has released Spider-Man in 2018. Then they did Spider-Man Remastered, Miles Morales, and now Ratchet and Clank coming out in next month. All right. This is the thing that I don't understand. Man. We have Insomniac showing this incredible looking game. Miles Morales was incredible. It's still selling huge. And its attach rate to the PlayStation 5 is incredible. The thing is that, and they remastered the first Spider-Man and made that game in 2018. Since all those studios were purchased by Microsoft, how the hell does this studio pump out this many games with this type of quality in the same amount of time? Corona affected everybody. So, like, you can't blame, Microsoft's delayed because of Corona. Like, this is the thing. You got 23 studios, and we had Bleeding Ass, which is done, and Grounded, which just added photo mode. Holy shit, they added photo mode and bees. They still don't have a story in Grounded because it's still in preview. That is what has come out of the studio purchases. So, what is the deal?
Jez, to be fair, Insomniac is an anomaly and a different beast on its own, because there's PlayStation Studios that's not even doing what Insomniac is doing.
Yeah,
they're just another.
I can't believe the output of this company.
No, I agree with you because what's it been like 600 days? What's the fucking? I don't even know.
Yo, it's been crazy. But I'm not. But Chris, they put the studios.
There's no excuse. No, I agree. There's no excuse for Xbox because the fact that they have nothing at launch and they have nothing throughout the rest of the year until the end of the year is no excuse. They had enough studios for some. They could have got a Forza out for launch. They could have paid a third party for some type of exclusives at launch or whatever. I mean, they got the medium, but nobody really cares too much about that. I'm not saying the game is bad or good. I haven't played it, but nobody really cares about the medium.
And the rumor is
like, yo, they don't have the exclusive. But as far as like Insomniac, like that, the Insomniac is different beasts and different league on their own. Like even comparing it to other PlayStation studios.
Yeah, because they're not turning this stuff around as quickly as this. But wait a second, we did because like if you look at what is it, Horizon Zero Dawn, that's a lapse in time and stuff like that. But if you want to add the other studios, because this is just a short amount of time since Sony purchased them. But if you look at just the lineup, Sony had Demon's Souls lined up. They had, you could say what you want, but Destruction All-Stars, Sackboy. They also had, that we just played Returnal, which we're going to talk about, man. I'm going to have it right here. I have it right here. It'll go Returnal.
Absolutely.
Dude, and now they got Ratchet and Clank, and then they're going to do Horizon, and then they announced God of War, and then on top of that, you got the deals that they're doing with Final Fantasy and Final Fantasy 16 and Forspoken and Epic and whatever the hell they're doing with all those guys. And even Bethesda. Like, the thing is how the hell is Sony prepared to release these lineups, and Microsoft's sitting there with their dicks in their hands, just waving around FPS booster and not having anything to show, but all talk and say wait to E3 stuff for the last 3 goddamn years. I don't understand. And they'll be like, well, coronavirus, we're working from home. Aaron Greenberg has a Xbox refrigerator. If you can make Xbox fucking refrigerators, you can make fucking games. Okay? If you could say, hey guys, if we win this Twitter battle, I'm going to make sure that we have micro Xbox Series X refrigerators for sale. If you could fucking do that in a short amount of time, why the fuck doesn't Craig have goddamn chest hair? Why haven't we seen gameplay of Halo ever since that fucking travesty you showed last year? Everything you're talking about now, Crossfire X, the campaign, no release date. Psychonauts 2, no release date. Those games were supposed to come out last year, dude. They were supposed to come out last year.
They got second extinction though, early access.
Early access, but the thing is, those games those games that everybody's that still is on that list are from last year. And guess what, everybody? It's Cinco de fucking Mayo. It's May. All right, we're almost 5 months into this year with no release dates, no gameplay. Fucking nothing from them.
No release dates and
nothing.
I was gonna say no release dates, and also it seems like every other week we keep hearing, well, hey,
more games.
This game is in the pre-production.
Yeah, James Bond
phase.
and IO. Woo,
or
rumor.
we just got a director, or we just got a game program.
Look at this.
You know what I mean? It's like yo, every other week it's like yo, Everwild, Fable, like. Everybody, even the insiders, I keep saying, like, yep, don't.
Oh, the insiders, yes.
Right, years away.
That's who
years
Microsoft
away.
keeps
like,
employed.
bro,
The fucking insiders.
Microsoft. It's
I
like,
know.
it's like, yo, we don't want to. Like me personally, like I would get an Xbox if they had game. Like I've owned every single.
If
Xbox
Xbox showed this, I would be pre-ordering. I would order an Xbox. I'll be like, oh shit, I gotta play this.
I've owned every single Xbox except the One X,
same,
right? And obviously the Series X and the Series S, right? So
that's why
I'm not no fanboy to the point where like no, I just refuse. It's like
exactly.
No, bro,
no way.
What do you know? What made me buy those Xbox consoles previously? Because they had games. Yes, even the Xbox One in the beginning.
Yes, it
had
did.
Killer Instinct and Dead Rising and shit like
that's
Rise
why I bought
and Titanfall. Right, shit.
Yep.
Like they actually had compelling. Yeah, they were beating shit.
Sunset Overdrive,
right? because of all that shit. But they actually had some compelling games at the beginning.
Forza
of the launch,
Horizon,
and then they just completely fell out. Now it's like, yo, they don't got anything that really does it for me.
Nothing, dude.
As far as from what I'm seeing, not saying that they would, right? Because I'm looking forward to what type
you
of
think
RPGs
that stuff's real
that they get, right? From like Avowed and shit like that. But
dude, I don't even know if that shit's real, man. I don't trust them. I think Microsoft will cancel shit before. Like, look what I don't even know. I gotta see these games. Like, you look at. The thing is Microsoft has they do not know like this thing, and this is what I showed in this for the Ratchet and Clank stuff. Look at this gameplay. This is pure gameplay. This is not cutscenes. This is not a bunch of devs sitting here talking to the screen going, we really want you to feel the power of being Ratchet and running around with the guns. And we really took the signs. It's like that's like an Inside Xbox with Major Nelson interviewing the dev. Sony, here's the gameplay. This is the game. Look at it. Make your judgment. Make your purchase. Pre-order now, bitches. They don't have a dude sitting in there going, well, I designed the music, and I hope you really enjoy it. And you're just sitting there with a talking head and Major Nelson in his fucking flowered shirt going like, tell me about why you used the trombone in this scene. Get the fuck out of here. Show the game. They had those Inside Xboxes, and they didn't even show the games. They put people, shot them out of a cannon for Sea of Thieves. The thing is that Sony knows how to show their games, and they treat their games with respect. And that's the thing that pissed me off so much about Halo. Halo's your #1 franchise, and you shitted that thing out like a fucking fan-made mod that probably would have more passion than what they showed in July. And that's your Halo. That's your top tier. And you showed that shit that you had to hide that shit in the goddamn bunker and not talk about it ever again and have wall of text. Again, you got to market Halo. Every month, let's do a 5 pages of text of an interview going like, what's your favorite gun in the game? I don't give a fuck. Why don't you show me the gun in gameplay? The 4 rusty trombones, exactly. The guy that played 4 rusty trombones. That's the fuck he did. And then that's who they're talking to. The guy who did the trombone. But they're not showing the game. They're talking to the guy who played the fucking rusty trombone. That's what they're doing. But this game looks goddamn insane. And this is the thing that you do. You have a next-gen console, and you show a next-gen game. And that's all that people are talking about. Now, people are trying to talk about booster mode and all this other stuff while this shit was going down. Look at this fucking game. Yo, when Rivet went into this scene right here with the grass and shit, holy crap, man. This is insane. Like, this game. Woof. Anyway, this is what we got to look forward to, man. Yeah, this looked insane.
That shit looks crazy. And I've been, you know me, Jess. I've been singing the praise of Ratchet and Clank for a while now. I've been singing the praise for Ratchet and Clank, and I've been saying, yo, don't sleep on Ratchet and Clank. Don't sleep on what Insomniac is gonna do with this game, and shit like that. And it's like, yo, they did it, man. Insomniac is proven, man. They're improving. They have my full confidence. This game is gonna be absolutely amazing for what they showed. And it's not even like the campaign. The campaign looks amazing. It's just all the extra stuff that they added too, like different challenges, different arena rooms that you can do on the side, right? The racing was in 2016. It's just like all different types of gameplay variety, and then
and with the fast loading worlds,
and stuff. Pocket dimension. They're fully utilizing the next generation console. PlayStation 5 is a very distinct, unique console, right? It's different from what Microsoft is doing, right? Graphics-wise, performance-wise, they're both going to be extremely very similar. But what gives PlayStation the advantage in the more of an oomph, right? To their new generation of games that they're doing is exactly what we see in Returnal. Like everybody was saying, like, well, is Returnal
I got it.
The next gen or whatever? But here's the thing: is like, look at what Returnal is fully utilizing everything that Sony has been touting about the console. Now, what has Sony has been touting about the console since day one? It wasn't the T-flops, it wasn't the CU counts. It was 3 different things. It was the SSD, the DualSense, and 3D audio. That is what they keep bringing up.
And what are the 3 things? Exactly. Right? And what you're right. Those are the 3 things.
And Returnal fully utilize all 3 and it does it extremely well. And it's ingrained in its design, right? The SSD, going in through little portals and you die.
Oh yeah, I got it right here. We're gonna do a demo of it. We're gonna get into that. I'm gonna
fast travel and stuff like that. The game is designed around the SSD when it comes like that. The DualSense is
we're going to get into these next 2 topics.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll get to Returnal because that's the main thing. Yeah, okay. Because I have it actually here. We're going to do it. Next
Ratchet and Clank. It was about Ratchet and Clank. That shit looks amazing.
Oh yes, Ratchet and Clank does look amazing. It does look amazing. Yeah. So quick topic here. This thing came out here because there's this legal battle between Epic and Apple. The Fortnite thing and the revenue across there, where PlayStation actually holds the most revenue for Fortnite with 46%, with Xbox 27%, PC only 9%, Switch 8%. Apple 7 and Android at 0.5. The reason why this came up is because they were trying, in the midst of everybody talking about Returnal and talking about Ratchet and stuff, there is this, they tried to keep trying to doom and gloom PlayStation. They're trying to look for that E3 2013 moment, and it's just not working. And I see the media, and we're going to talk to the media the next thing, just certain people that Xbox maybe just trying to find, like, the PlayStation didn't like crossplay and Epic had to pay them compensation. This is the thing. I don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you this right now. See this? When you talk about mind share, when you talk about console sales, when you talk about exclusives, and you talk about partnerships, Discord, hint, hint, next topic. This is what happens. This is why every fucking time I'm on my Grinds My Gears, I say sales, mindshare, devs, all that matters. Because when you have the pie, you got them by the balls. When you are the 50% of Fortnite's revenue is coming to you, guess what? Epic is going to suck your dick. Because you are like, I don't want to be crossplay, bitch. And then Epic's like, we can make you the best. You got to see the emails. Oh, we'll make you look so good. And Sony's like, fuck y'all. Fuck you. Now, you're gonna, if somebody plays my shit on fucking Apple, I want money, bitch. It's business. I don't care. I don't care what they do in the back room, in the fucking champagne room over there at Epic and PlayStation. I don't give a fuck if Jim Ryan puts on a goddamn thong and dances on a fucking pole. All I care about is that the content comes to the gamer. And it comes to the gamer because the company has leverage. They could make those partnership deals with Discord. They can make those partnership deals with exclusive games from Bethesda because guess what? Sony is selling the most. Sony has the clout. They got the dev mindshare. Even little Cliffy B was like, I got to make my game first even though that game was off. I got to make my game first for PlayStation because that's where the shit is. That's where they buy it. That's the most popular console. So my point is, when Xbox just diluted itself and said, we're everywhere, we're like the fucking coronavirus, we're everywhere, we're going to be on your phones and your refrigerators and all this other shit, they diluted their leverage and their brand. And they're trying to repurpose it, going like, hey, guys, we got 1 billion people. You got 1 billion people that don't give a fuck about you or don't even know what an Xbox is. You got 1 billion people saying, what the fuck is this Microsoft account I got to sign into to play this fucking game if I don't even give a shit what this game is about? That's what you got. You got 1 million people going, who the fuck's this Microsoft account for? They don't know what this is. That's why when you have the leverage, you got them by the balls. And when you got them by the balls, you could call the shots. That's why sales matter. That's why mindshare matters. And that's the stuff that Microsoft lost last generation.
Epic knows the value of PlayStation. They know that stuff. They know all the I know. Look at that pie, right? Look at that pie,
man.
Right. So they're willing to pay.
You want this piece?
To be honest, but Epic and Sony also, even though Epic pays Sony for them to do crossplay, guess what? Sony gave them, what was it? Their first day it was like 200, and then like another 250 million that they invested back into Epic. You know what I mean? So Sony put money back into Epic. So
they're washing their balls too. They're washing their balls. Right? They got them.
Yeah, it's a business partnership that obviously they both have. They both they're real cool with each other. They they have business partnerships.
Yeah, they put in money.
And that's just the thing with the business, right? Sony is looking out for their business interests. So if they're saying, hey, we want this feature or whatever, Sony's looking at the data, the analytics, and saying like, well, if this happens, we could potentially lose this and that. Then we cut the money. So yeah, you can implement this stuff, but you're gonna have to pay out for this implementation. And Epic Games agreed with it. They had no problems agreeing with it. So if they agree with it, there's no problem because they could have just, Epic Games could have just been on some like shiesty shit and just been like, well, nah, fuck, and kept making Sony look bad until they forced them to do it for free.
No, it was
they
a
said, yeah, fuck it, we'll do it.
Sony's like, we want it and we want to play. And
And to my understanding, it's not more the cross. It was also the cross progression.
Yes, and using the exclusive items on something else. Their items.
Right, not that because you can get your say you have it on your phone, and then you have Fortnite on your phone, and then you get all the skins or whatever, and then you take that over to PlayStation. Well, now you don't have to pay microtransactions to PlayStation.
Exactly. That's why you can't.
Yeah. So that's why they were looking at that.
Like, that's why you can't bring I noticed that too. Because my son, when he plays. When you redeem points on the PlayStation, when you boot it up on PC, those points are not showing up there. So that's the thing. You got to go through, and that was a way of Sony getting a cut of those microtransactions when you buy those skins because remember, Sony was free to play this. They're not getting subscriber money for Fortnite. So their revenue from Fortnite was coming from all those skins, just like Xbox, but they were double dipping with the online subsubscription requirement. But Sony,
which is why they had no problem for crossplay.
Exactly, Microsoft had no problem with crossplay. They're like, yeah, we're getting Chris. We're getting our money from the bitches, the suckers that are doing this. They're paying Xbox Live to play.
You know what?
Crossplay.
Listen to you guys. You said something in it, and it kind of reminded me of a business deal Sony had back in the day with Square Enix, where they funded a lot of money in Square Enix's company, and they owned a big stake in them, and they made sure that the projects that came out, on that console, they were like, we're gonna make sure it's good. And then when Square Enix got stable, they said, hey, we'll sell your shares back to you because you helped us out. We're gonna help you out. And I think Sony's always been good with that. They've always been good working with companies saying, hey, we'll help you, you help us. And it's kind of like you said, a business partnership.
Because PlayStation's their life. If PlayStation goes, Sony goes. That's the thing. They gotta build up their partnerships because they need that support for their platform.
Yeah, and it's like you said, I don't care. But they're coming up from rooftop parties with glory holes.
Oh shit!
Hey, I'm just gonna call it what it is. They can go to those rooftop parties on the second floor in glory holes, but at the end of the day, it's what is good for gaming. Apparently,
do we get to win this time?
A lot of people don't know this. Microsoft burnt a lot of bridges with especially a lot of indie developers. And I don't wish any company to do that. I think that everybody can get a piece of the pie, right? The game industry is big enough for everybody to get a piece of the pie. But it goes back to what's going to sell where. For instance, I'll give you an example when we talk about revenue. Tekken. Always been known as a PlayStation franchise. For the longest time. It wasn't really until the 360 era that Tekken really became a multi-platform game. And the 360 era was that era where a lot of developers are like, holy crap, we're just going to go multi-plat. But I think in that era too, it also, when developers started going multi-plat, what they started realizing is we're selling less games, even though we're on everything. We're on the GameCube, we're on the Xbox, we're on the PlayStation 2. We're, in the next generation, they're like, why aren't we selling as many games, like we should? And it's because certain things kind of like, what's the word? They resonated in a certain home. It's kind of like, when people play Crash Bandicoot, Spyro the Dragon, that resonated with Sony. It's a multi-plat now. I'm hoping it does well, but I would bet money that it probably sells better on the PlayStation system than anywhere else. Why? Is because that's its home. That's where people know it for. Same with Tekken. Same with a lot of games. I don't wish them to do bad on others. What? Final Fantasy, a lot of people say, well, why does the Final Fantasy games, why aren't they day and date with like the PlayStation? Because Final Fantasy is kind of really much from the PlayStation 1 era up until now. It's been known as a PlayStation kind of game.
Yeah. It has the biggest fan base on PlayStation.
Exactly. And so it's not that Final Fantasy can't be on Xbox. It's just like, is it going to do as well? And it's not. We know it's not going to do.
That's why it's going to Game Pass, dude.
Yeah, and I don't have
that's most successful.
We don't know if it's going to Game Pass.
Well, not that game, but the other Final Fantasies are going to Game Pass.
Oh, yeah, the older ones, yeah.
Yeah, Final Fantasy 7, I don't know what's going on. I think there's some inside deal with Sony, and I think that may end up
I know what's going on.
I think it may end up.
Oh, shit, Chris knows it, but he's not going to share this beans?
Wait. Here's what I think. I'm just going to tell you what I think.
All right, well, next topic. We'll move on. We got to move to the main one.
Look, it may end up staying exclusive until it's the finale, and then it comes to Xbox.
Let them burn.
I think that's what may happen. Slow burn.
Well, no, real quick, because I know Josh wants to move to the next. The whole thing with Final Fantasy 7 is, obviously they got a deal, right? And the deal is supposed to end on April 10th, right? 1 year after exclusive.
Yes.
And people are still not hearing about that, whatever. Well, Square Enix with this particular team, they really, really want to get all the Final Fantasy 7 remake parts, right?
Yes.
Like the multi saga parts. They want to get them out as fast as possible.
Yes, that's
as fast as possible and as concise. That doesn't mean that they're rushing development to get it out. That just means that they really, really, they keep talking about they're focusing really hard and they're really holding on this project. And in order for that to happen, the best way to do that is to focus on just one platform.
Right.
Yes.
Is to focus.
And that's
you know what I mean? Because if you focus on multiplayer, it's gonna
come out until they're done with it.
Exactly.
It is just,
I think. Well, it could come out to. I think if Final Fantasy 7 remake comes to Xbox, it's not gonna come to Xbox One. It's gonna be the integrated version, which is the next gen version.
Oh, the Game of the Year edition,
only for the Series X, and it if it ends up coming, but I don't think it's coming anytime soon because they're promoting the DLC as an exclusive for PlayStation and everything for PS5 and all that stuff, right? And this is the reason why they made it a PS5 exclusive because Nomura said that he wants to move on from the PS4 and to get the developers and the team used to the PS5 right? So they made the DLC exclusively for the PS5. So then that, you know, they're so by the time the sequel comes out, they're already familiar and they're experienced with the PS5 and all that stuff too.
Well, let them wait.
Right.
I got exclusive insider now. I got exclusive insider video here of Discord reacting when Microsoft went over there, because if you remember a couple of weeks ago, Phil Spencer, well, maybe not Phil Spencer, but I think it's him. He said the deal was they were gonna buy Discord for what, 14 billion? Is it 7 billion?
Yep.
I don't know. Phil Spencer said he was passing by. He went over to In-N-Out Burger and he said, you know what? I'm gonna go over here and buy Discord. You know, take a shit in their house and then go fucking buy them. Well, I got a exclusive video, guys. I had to search long enough at this thing, and I found the video of Discord reacting when Phil Spencer showed up and asked to buy them. And this is what Discord did. Here it is, guys. I'm going to show it to you. Hit that like button. Share this out because this is exclusive footage. I'm getting big now, so I'm able to get this kind of shit and bring you this amazing content. Here it is.
Phil Spencer invited him to
Yo, this is what happened. Phil Spencer went over there and said, we're going to buy you. And Discord's like, what do you think? Phil Spencer, what do you think? And Phil rubbed his nipples a little bit, gave him a little Phil Ness in a jar. And this is what Discord had to say to Phil.
Booster. I don't want Booster. Booster. I don't want Booster.
Dude, come on. Nobody wants fucking Booster. Get the fuck out of here. We want the mind share. The mind share. The ones that brush our balls. That's who we want. We want the mind share. Nobody wants Booster. Nobody wants fucking Booster. He said Booster. They said, well, Discord, we'll put you in Game Pass. They're like, fuck you.
Of the action figure known as Turbo Man. I am not going to ask you people to be quiet again. Do you hear me? If you're not one of the lucky few, we have plenty of Turbo Man's faithful pet tiger Booster in stock.
Nobody wants 20%. Get the hell out of here. We want the 50%. So again, anyway, Gordon Ramsay, Jim Ryan, Big Balls Ryan.
Went over there and told him that shit, and then said, yeah, and went over. He went over there and said that shit to him, and then he was like rooftop parties. And they were
shit,
we've heard about those.
So then Jim Ryan said. Jim Ryan went over there. He goes, get the fuck over here. Get the fuck. You want to talk real business? Don't deal with Booster. Deal with Turbo Man. Get the fuck over here. So Jim Ryan, somebody must have got Jim Ryan a fucking laptop or something, because this motherfucker's been writing articles and shit. I think they gave him a Windows laptop or some shit. He did that thing where we're sorry about the old ass stores. Jim Ryan wrote something. Now Jim Ryan got some fucking shit to say about Discord. So 2 weeks ago, when Booster was declined, the deal, everybody's like Discord, and they're like Discord, but Microsoft already has a talking cross-platform talking thing and stuff like this. Like, but they'll get rid of the Xbox One and use Discord because everybody wants to use Discord. We're using Discord right now. You got the communities, you share stuff. It's a chat room. It's awesome. It's everybody uses Discord on PC. And I'm going to give you my opinion on this, then hear the guys' opinions on this, the other grinders. So Sony says they're announcing a new PlayStation partnership in Discord, and it's going to be coming to the PlayStation in 2022. So the fact that this is coming next year, this is probably going to be integrated in there. And similar to how Spotify was integrated into the PlayStation, it wasn't just an app. Spotify is integrated into the music tab, and it's the Spotify into the tab, into the dashboard from day one. Spotify, since it was PlayStation Music at the time. Then they integrated YouTube. You could stream right to YouTube, right from the dashboard, right to Twitch. It's integrated. Microsoft uses apps like their fucking Windows phones, and not Windows phones, but Windows computers. They use apps. You got to go into the Twitch app and then link it to your Xbox, and then you could control the bitrate, which is nice, but you got to stream it through the Twitch app. Where Sony, you hit stream, and I do this all the time. You have the chat pops up on the side. It pops up. It goes away. You can move the video around. It's a full-fledged, basically, chat place. In addition, like Share Factory and stuff, but that's a different story. But you could upload to YouTube and all that other stuff without using the YouTube app, so the Twitch app. You still can't stream to YouTube on Xbox, which, Google got the mind share, got Microsoft by the balls right there because they're not letting them do it. So Now they're going to do Discord. And Microsoft does have some sort of Discord presence where they finesse you because, like, somebody's playing a game, but they're playing it through Discord or their presence on Discord. It's just a presence thing, like their Xbox Live friends list. This sounds like, for me, more of the integration for allowing friends, groups, and communities to hang out, have fun, and communicate easily while playing games together. This sounds like a full Discord integration into chat and features. Like maybe, maybe I was even thinking, what about streaming to Discord? Like you could stream a game to Discord and have your community watch your chat. Similar to how you could do share play or share screen with your PlayStation
it'll be
party.
the same thing as YouTube streaming, right? And then if you remember at the beginning of the PS4 generation, they had the Twitch app integration where you can stream straight to Twitch. They don't have that no more.
No,
remember
they
had the
do.
Twitch
They do.
app.
You can switch.
Or you can still stream.
Yes.
Oh, to Twitch. Oh, do they?
I have it. You know what, guys? I'm gonna grind this right here. I got my PS5 lined up right here. I'll show you. It's right here. I moved the Grindsboard. Yeah. So like, just to kind of, that's the reason why I had this. But yeah, like, so what do you think more of the Discord stuff? Let me do.
I think yeah, I mean, I think it's great. I think I love Discord. Obviously, we use it for every podcast that we do. It's a great app, great communication app, great community app, and stuff like that. So this is kind of their response from 2 months ago, because there was a report that came out that the communities, right? The communities from like PlayStation 4 that Sony was shutting
remember?
down
You're
in
right,
April.
Chris. Yeah, the communities are going away.
Right, the communities were going away and they're shutting down and whatever. So PlayStation probably looked at it as like, well, nobody's using communities like that, so let's just get fucking Discord because it's gonna strengthen, broaden the community and stuff like that. I think in the article it says that they are doing a full integration of the.
That's
Discord
what it says.
app.
Yep, I had up here. It says, and mobile too, and console and mobile allowing from
the mobile, exactly. So I mean, I wouldn't see why you wouldn't be able to stream, from that. And to be honest with you, this is gonna make a lot of things easier. Like if we're podcasting now, I could just play my game and have the audio playing through my game while I'm podcasting or whatever.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you, the thing that I like for this, and I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna get out of here with hold on.
And let's make one thing clear, right? Because I saw some Xbox fanboys trying to say was, I thought y'all said no. Listen, I thought y'all saying Discord was trash from Microsoft. Nobody was saying Discord was trash from Microsoft.
No.
But I said it repeatedly. I said it on Salty's Gaming Podcast. I said it on Planet Xbox.
It was a good
that it doesn't bother me at all if Microsoft. I don't care either way if Microsoft buys Discord, as long as they don't change it and ruin it. I don't care either way. And I think if Xbox had Discord, that would be a cool thing. I've said this.
Yes.
So
nobody
flip flopping. Nobody was here. But it's ironically how there were rumors, or not rumors, but there was reports of Microsoft buying Discord, and then now a month later we find out that PlayStation has a deal with them and that the Discord is going to come to the PlayStation consoles and stuff like that in early next year.
You know what, Chris?
That's crazy.
This is a motif, and just before I just say my thing in this thing. Yeah, it is a flex. But here, like, see, this is what I'm talking about with the music, right? And, don't judge me on my music listening. I like a lot of dance music. But here, if you hit music, right? See, Spotify is integrated directly in their playlists and everything. They actually have them based on, like, the gaming and stuff like that. But this is Spotify integrated directly into the dashboard, right? And then here's the streaming stuff. So if you hit broadcast, if you hit, like, if you go to share play right here and you go like this and you go to broadcasting, you could broadcast right to YouTube. Say you have YouTube right within the thing. I could set my title. I could set my stuff, what my tags are going to be, my privacy. And then I could even go in here and I could switch services and I could stream to Twitch. All integrated into the dashboard. No apps. So, like, this is what I mean. So if they're going to take now this and they're going to turn this into, your party list or add this, like, into your party chat and your friends list and stuff like that, dude, this is awesome. Because the thing is that what I like about this, my point on this whole thing, and then we'll get into the Returnal stuff and the reviewers, but, like, my point in the whole thing is like, Sony is going right for what we want with this. Whereas Microsoft, there was rumors that they were going to buy Discord. And just like they bought Beam and then turned it into Mixer. You know, and this is where I go on my rants on the stuff and where I'm like, why does it have to be Microsoft buying Bethesda, buying studios to get games, buying?
Yes,
because
agreed.
Guess what?
You
when
can
they
partner with
buy
them.
it, yeah, when they buy like Bethesda, well, we talked months on like, is it exclusive? Is it not exclusive? Is it not? Meanwhile, Sony didn't have to buy Bethesda to get the Deathloop. They just came out and said, hey, exclusive, bitch. Like, there you go. We didn't have to have them sit around in a circle jerk and say, we bought you, Todd Howard. You're our bitch now. Or the ink is signed now.
Exactly.
They didn't have to do all that bullshit. It went right to the game. Here's a game, exclusive, go. There was no kind of, we need to buy you. Now, if Microsoft would have bought Discord, it would have been like, well, what are they going to do with them? Oh, maybe, are they going to keep their name? Are they going to integrate them into Xbox? Are they just going to keep them on PC because they're buying them? Sony didn't have to buy Discord. They just said, we're partnering them, we're going to use them, and we're going to integrate it into your fucking PlayStation, and you're going to communicate with your friends, and there it is. The end user benefits directly from this partnership. This is not a fucking purchase. And Phil's like, how much did he spent $7 billion. Everybody gets a fucking hard on. Phil got $7 billion. Oh my God, I'm so hot. He's so hot. No,
and
who gives
also
a fuck?
people
fucking cares.
People are underestimating these partnership moves by Sony because it's not a buyout. They're thinking it's something less because it's not. They think it has to be a buyout in order to be like super.
No, buyout's the worst.
They're making smart partnerships that's going to broaden and strengthen their brand and them get more leverage on these different partners that they have. They don't have to buy them out to get perks from these consoles that benefits us as PlayStation gamers when it comes to the PlayStation console. So I don't understand why people try to, Microsoft, they're buying Bethesda, what Sony is doing is just, paying for like more. Bro, that shit's gonna be more effective than what you realize. Them buying or partnering up for Evo, for the fighting game community, for esports. That's gonna be more effective than people realize. Them doing that for Discord is gonna be more effective than people realize. It doesn't have to be a fucking buyout.
Exactly. Hunter did this right here. He said, minority invest, and they also invested in Discord too. This is not just a partnership to integrate their features. They also did a minority investment into them, like you said. 2 investments into Epic Games. New IP with Jade Raymond Studios. New IP with ex-Bungie staff. Acquiring Evo. Well, there's an acquiring right there. And they acquired Crunchyroll. So they do 2 acquire, but the 2 acquisitions. But the other ones are bringing direct games, right? They don't have to buy everything. And this is where I was like, when people are like, well, Microsoft got games. I'm like, but why? Microsoft never had to buy companies to get games. Sony's not buying. They don't own Rockstar to get content and some features for GTA. They don't own Discord to get the features and stuff. You don't have to buy everybody, because when you look at that, with more money comes more responsibilities. And buying somebody definitely has different implications than partnering with somebody. When you buy somebody, you become us, and we tell you what to do. That's probably why the benefit of why they wanted to buy those studios rather than partnering with those studios to make exclusive games for Xbox. They bought them probably because they're like, you know what? You're just going to make content for Game Pass, and if we own you, we could dictate that you're going to Game Pass. You have no out. And you can't negotiate with us whether this game should be in Game Pass. Like, maybe Bethesda goes, hey, this game is going to look great, and gets a huge hype. And then Microsoft comes up to them and goes, hey, we want to put that game in Game Pass. And Bethesda's like, yeah, 10 million, bitch. And then Microsoft's like, okay, well, we got to do this. No, instead, we're going to buy you. Now you're our bitch. And we're going to put all your games in Game Pass. And then there's no negotiation. This is it. And that's kind of what they're doing. They're buying up people so they can control the distribution of those games. That's the reason why they have to buy them. Sony's not. Sony just wants the content for us. They don't need to buy this to make exclusive deals, because guess what? They got the mind share and they got the clout, they got the sales, and they got the attachment rates and game sales and the respectable video games that people buy, that they could show all that stuff going, we're the leading platform. And there's the leverage right there. You don't have to buy them. Remember Bethesda? Bethesda was purchased what? They made the announcement in September. And it was like the deal just saw, like they just did the deal a month ago. And you still don't know what the fuck you're getting out of it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what people don't understand. Like, these are strategic investments into partnerships, right? For like Epic Games, right? They can get benefits from them.
Yeah, it was $10 billion. That's right, $10 billion.
They've done this before with Capcom. Capcom was going into bankrupt. Was going rumors to go bankrupt at one point. Sony put money into them. Guess what? They came out with a Street Fighter exclusive for PlayStation.
Yes, they didn't have to buy Capcom for that.
And guess what? They didn't have to buy Capcom. Guess what? That game never came to Xbox.
Exactly.
Right? They did the same thing with Square Enix and what Frogs was talking about. Like, Square Enix was in a tight situation years ago. Sony put money into their stocks, right? It's kind of almost like a bailout. Now Square Enix is doing very well, and they have a really close partnership. So now Final Fantasy VII is exclusive with no sights of it coming into Xbox anytime soon. Final Fantasy 16 is exclusive. We know Project Athia is 2 years exclusive. So it's like these partnerships really benefit Sony and PlayStation and in a lot of effective ways, other than just straight up buying them straight up.
Exactly. That was the thing where people are just saying, like,
why buy the cow? My bad. Why buy the cow when you can get the milk cheaper and still have people just come to your store for the milk?
Yeah, exactly. Like, the thing is like, that's why when people go, and not only did they buy these studios, but then on top of it, these studios are like, we're getting a new location, a new headquarters. Like, they're starting from scratch. Like, and that's why when we said our frustration earlier, where we're talking about what Insomniac did, Sony bought them and they're outputting games. Go. Like, where is State of Decay dev? Like, you released that game in 2019. Like, you had a CGI trailer for State of Decay 3. Like, Compulsion Games, the game came out already. Where's Compulsion's next game? I'm like, you think that these games, what happens if you wait 3 years or so for these games and they come out like Hellblade 2 comes out and it's just a 6-hour game? Like, it's nothing bigger or more than the other one. It just looks better and it's the same length and same thing as the last one. You can be like, why did this take 8 years from Hellblade 1 or 6 years from Hellblade 1? And that's the problem. With all this waiting comes greater expectations. And the problem that Microsoft has is that they had to buy everybody, and then they're starting from scratch. They're like, well, I got a new computer. I was using a Commodore 64 to make my game. Microsoft bought us, and they got me this new Windows 10 PC. Can't wait to make some new graphics. What the fuck? They're like, we're moving us from this building to this building. Watch it being built. This is the kind of shit that's going on. I'm like, where the fuck are the games? Oh, we got to wait for the building. They just laid the foundation. We got to wait. I'm moving to the new building now. They brought in Bill Murray. They brought him in. Hey, he left. He announced the game and left. Then went back to Insomniac. And now it's fucking coming out with games. Guys, like, I don't want to wait for 10 years before Perfect Dark comes out and it gets a fucking 60 on Metacritic. Oh, shit. Speaking about reviewers, let's go to the grinds table. Fuck this shit. We're going to get down and dirty. I think I need a drink. Let's go. Grinds table. Let's go. All right. God damn, I fixed my friggin' thing. I had to get a drink here. Now, grinds table. We got two big topics. There comes Frog. Frog came back from the bathroom. He's back.
No, I've been sitting here just listening. I didn't have much input.
All right.
This is what I've been waiting for.
He's waiting for this. So we got our topics. This is the main ones. We're in the home stretch, everybody. So that we got the R&Rs. Last week it was R&R with Ratchet and Returnal. We're going to do Returnal today. But first, we got some disturbing news.
Oh, shit.
Disturbing news. So, Twitter's been a wild place. All right, there's gonna be a lot of guys. You can put the volume down a little bit because there's gonna be a lot of sirens going on because this shit is ridiculous. So get ready for your sirens. So anyway, we spoke about last week about the reviews of Returnal. The reviews of Returnal came out. It got like an 86. I think we discussed. I don't know. No, I don't even know. Fuck it. It got like an 86 on Metacritic, right?
Well, that came out Thursday.
Thursday, yeah. So yeah, you're right. I forget what the hell I've been saying this show.
Well, after your show, my bad.
Yeah, exactly. It was after the show. So like, it came out, and one of the things that happened was, one of the reviewers, and again, this doesn't tie into what happened today, but one of the reviewers gave it a low score. Jeff Grubb gave it a low score, 6 out of 10. He did do some of dancing around. Like, he did some stuff on.
It was a 3 out of 5.
3 out of 5, yeah.
But for some reason, Metacritic counts that as a 6 out of 10. So
yeah, fuck Metacritic. Yeah. But actually, it helps. People actually have to get paid from Metacritic and stuff like that, which is sad. But that's the way they use it as a metric to pay devs. Anyway, but he did a review, and a lot of this stuff with the reviewers and media came to light. I just personally wrote, personally said on that thing that I didn't like how he handled the criticism for his low review. Like, you stand by your review, you do what you got to do. Instead, he was pandering to the Sony audience. He was licking controllers. He was going into, he was basically saying things where, like, if I was not to review this game, shit. Yeah, he was doing some crazy stuff. But I guess that's what he does. He commented on my last video where I said that, going like, he's just obnoxious and stuff. And I just said, hey, as a professional reviewer and somebody who writes for a publication, I would think that, you would hold a higher standard and not stoop to the low bowels of the internet. And, I don't know how that works. And, and then he even did that kind of sexist comment where he drew into that girl where he said that, worst things gamers like is the worst thing than a bad review is a girl that knows how to play games or something like that. And he deleted that because that was bringing negative context to her. And he deleted that tweet. And he actually replied to my thing going like, well, he deleted it because that was giving her all bad publicity. And it was not a nice thing to say nonetheless, but also too, it was also pointing out another score that everybody went after her with. But anyway, it was a mess. But that really was just the back. And, I appreciate you listening to my thing. And, we spoke in the chat and you can see the chat and stuff. And it is what it is. Hey, you do your thing. It's just, that Venture Beat's not my job. And I can tell you right now, if I worked for Venture Beat, I wouldn't be doing that shit. But, all I'm going to say is if I did that at my job, yeah, you're a professional, that's what you do. But speaking about professionals and reviewers, and not saying that this happened to him, I don't know his review, but this guy, this person, we're going to do this one. This guy writes this thing today and blows up the internet. Mike D. He goes on this tirade. I don't know why, but I don't know what he does. What does he do? He is head content of the gaming Bible. Yo.
What?
He writes reviews for the gaming Bible. Exactly. What? But I can tell you, his Bible, dude, that's not the Bible to go by. Because he says here, you don't need to be good at games to write about them or stream them or even make them. All right, fine. You don't have to be an e-pro game or whatever the hell, a gamer to review a game. Fine.
That's not part of the commandments.
That's not part of the commandments, exactly. But this one, this is gamers Satan world right here. Shit. You don't need to finish a game to review it, to publish an opinion and score. Most of the time, we don't get the time. And then he goes on. That's not enough to grind the gears of every goddamn gamer who looks at a review thinking that this is. And people were some people were running to him like from the media going, hey, yeah, that's right. And dude, he goes on. Whenever I see these individuals, it points of reasons to attack individuals. It shows how little they really know about the industry that they're champions of. It's pandering, grifting, an audience of hatred, and meaningful commentary and criticism. First off, I don't know how you have meaningful commentary if you're not finishing the fucking game. All right, I don't know how meaning your commentary is when you don't finish the game. Let me tell you something. We'll grind some gears here, Mr. Gaming Bible. Let me do the sign of the cross. God help me. I got fungal. Let me tell you something. If you review the game, and it's your fucking job, my job is to review this game. if that's your fucking job, you finish the fucking game.
Yes.
And you fucking find time to do your job. Okay? You fucking find time. If you need overtime, you do overtime. But you finish the fucking game to review the fucking game that you're fucking getting paid for. Okay? All right? Amen. There we go. Frog, what do you have to say? Game and Bible.
Something. I agree.
Speak the words.
You don't have to. I agree that you don't have to finish a game and have an opinion about it. But because I think I can understand having an opinion, right? This is an opinion piece where you're like
first impressions.
But if you're reviewing a game, you're giving it a final score, you better have beat that fucking game. And the reason I say that is I can look at a game and tell you if I think I'm gonna like it or not, but that's different than me saying this game is fucking dog shit and I've never played it, or I only played like 10 minutes, an hour of the game, and I just drop it. I'm like, yeah, freaking 3 out of 10. No, I think that's absurd. You're a delusional person if you think that I'm going to listen to anything that you put your name on as some kind of gaming Bible. Like, that's stupid.
Yeah,
like
the Bible.
I think the stupidest thing you could think is really like, hey, I don't really need to beat this game. What's the point of you even reviewing the game if you didn't sit down there and play? Like, when I played Days Gone, I sat there and I played through it, and I even, I eventually platinumed it because I like it that much. But my opinion of the game was one way going into it, and then after I beat it, I was like, yo, this wasn't as, this wasn't what a lot of reviewers said it was. Like, did they? And I there's so many reviewers I can call bullshit on when I play through that game, because a lot of things they said in the review, I was like, no, this is not that. Like, did you read the context? Did you understand what was going on in the story? Like, like one person, oh my God, all the freakers are white. I'm like, apparently you didn't really grasp the concept and read why everybody had this skin. Nobody had pigmentation. So it goes back to the people reviewing these games. Are they really grasping, and there's some games that are going to be harder than others to review, but are these people really grasping what they're playing? Same with Death Stranding. There are a lot of people who just like, oh, it's a sim walker, it's shit, it's this now. I'm like, I played the game from beginning to end, and I almost platinumed it. Regardless, I almost platinumed it. Like, I was really into the game, and I wanted to see it for myself. And I disagree with a lot of the reviewers because a lot of things they were saying, it's like and here's my thing. I think that there are a lot of reviewers who just rush through a game just to give it a score.
Because you got to get it out before everybody else. That's where he says we don't have the time. Because probably they're like, you got to get it out by Tuesday because that's the cutoff date. Now, Frog, wait a second. I do have to say something, Frog. But what about if it's a long game, they give you the Thursday is the due date for the review, and you don't get the game in time? Do you delay your review?
But here's the thing.
This is just devil's advocate here, talking about the game and Bible. Devil's advocate, let's hear.
I think you can do a review in progress, and you can say, this is how I feel, Bill.
Right.
Yes, I agree.
IGN does that a lot. Yep. IGN does that a lot. They'll have a review in progress.
Why don't you stream it while you're reviewing it?
Yeah, because the thing is, there's some games out there that are freaking long, and you're like, oh, shit, this game is 80, 60 hours. I'm not going to be, okay, this is my review in progress. This is what I feel about it so far. And then you come back after you beat the game after a couple of weeks, whenever you beat it, and then you put a final stamp on there. You shouldn't rush to put a review up on Metacritic just because you want to get clicks. That's bullshit. I think it's ridiculous. And I think that people who review games like that, I think they're absolutely
well. This guy, I'm going to tell you one other thing though. What he does, this guy, man. When when they said you're done, man, just like back up. The dude didn't stop. Like, he kept going and going. Like, I don't even know. Dude, he was saying, first off, he's saying that, well, first off, let's see about the movie thing. Because that Black Bond came out to him with that thing. And he goes like this. He goes, well, movies don't take 40 hours to finish. They don't require user interaction. This guy, first off, thinks that if you don't want to tell me if a game technically works, like if you want graphics and sound and all that stuff, go look at the back of the box for that. And you know, he says that. And he goes, if you want somebody's opinion of what they think of the game, that's where you don't need to finish it. Like I can tell you right now, I don't like this game, or this is the reason why I don't like it. This is, you know what? I'm going to say something to that, because this is the thing. I find
you can give me an opinion all day, but if you didn't play through that game and beat it, and seeing a credits roll, I don't want to hear you.
But I think the problem is, Frog. You were saying it before about the whole Days Gone stuff, right? I think the problem is that there is too much opinion and not more breakdown of a game exactly more of a neutral kind of presentation of this is what the game presents, this is how it functions, this is what happens. Talk about the game. I don't really give a flying fuck if you don't like the character's hairdo and that's why you gave it a -1. That these people think there's something special.
That's your personal opinion.
I don't fucking care. That you want to put an opinion, put it in the last fucking paragraph at the bottom. But you want to know what? Talk about the game. Talk about the gameplay. Talk about how the controller functions. Talk about the sound. Talk about the mission structure. Talk about the game. And know what, motherfucker?
Everything. Anything that has to do with the freaking game. This is what I don't understand.
Yes.
It's like, yo,
instead they write a paragraph as to, there's not enough. The zombies don't come out at night. What the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
No, but listen, if I'm coming to your review, right, which I usually don't give a fuck about most of these reviews, IGNs or whatever. Like I really don't. But there's a lot of people who do look to these reviews and they want to be informed, right? They look to these reviews
and
to be educated.
And it feeds to Metacritic, Chris. That people get paid.
Right. But hold on. Let me finish.
Sure.
They go to these reviews to get educated opinions about the game. So if I'm going to this review, I want to break down a full breakdown of the game's mechanics. Obviously, no spoilers, right? Don't go too crazy. Leave some things in there for surprise, but just give me a gist of how the characters are handled, how the level design is handled, how the graphics, the gameplay, and all that stuff. If I'm going to their fucking review, right? For example, like Returnal, which I'm playing through Returnal right now, right? I'm enjoying the stuff about the game, the gameplay mechanics, and also the story, right? Because the story about her being sent on an alien planet and blah, blah, blah. If I'm going to a review, I don't want to hear shit about Republicans and Democrats on a game that has nothing to do with no political affiliation.
That's right.
What the fuck is going on out here, bro? And then they look at you crazy for thinking like that. They look at you crazy for thinking like that. It's like, oh, you're just a toxic, right? Or you're just a toxic left. And bro, it has nothing to fucking do with the game.
Nothing.
Thank you.
Nothing.
That's like, and Bob brought up a good point on Sunday on WWP. That's like you going to like a car salesman and you talking about, well, how is this car? And the car salesman says, well, this brand is made by a Republican. Therefore, you shouldn't get this because now you're supporting Republicans.
I would walk right out. I don't need that fucking shit. I want to know the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I want to know about the
drives.
car.
I want to know how the car feels. I want to know, the safety rating of the car.
Exactly.
Is it safe? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to know about none of that other shit. Like, it's crazy out here, man.
It is.
Well, and the whole thing with them not completing games is like, bro, okay. Well, remind me to never fucking click on your website. I don't want you to get no ad view from my shit because I don't want to hear about your opinion. To me, your opinion is complete null and void. But if you're gonna do that anyways, put a disclaimer at the beginning. Say, hey,
a paragraph at the bottom.
But I did not finish the game.
Yes.
That way you can let the reader know. It's like, okay, I'm looking at this review for somebody who didn't complete the game. Let me go somewhere else to somebody.
And now, Chris, I understand that there might be some games where there maybe isn't really a narrative that needs to be finished. So to make a general statement like I don't need to finish a game, you need to know if there's story. You imagine.
You can't really
Yo, Frog, you imagine if somebody's like Last of Us, like, you know what, I played up until halfway through. I'm done. It's 4 out of 5. I didn't like, it was good.
Nope.
What the fuck? Like, You need to know if the payoffs, if the narratives, even if new gameplay elements are introduced later on in the game. Like there are certain things.
Narrative to that you have to play all the way through it.
You can't
review a game like that. You can't say, "Well, I played this game."
Like I know Fortnite, you don't have to finish Fortnite to review Fortnite. But the thing is, like, if games have a narrative, have a progression scale. Yes. You better complete that game. You don't have to platinum it. You don't have to go on esports and have a team name planted on your back. I understand that.
You need to have an end credit, and you need to.
But
see
you
what it's
need
about.
to complete the game.
Yes.
And if you don't have time, make fucking time or quit your fucking job.
That comment, bro.
If you don't
that
have
comment.
time, you go find another job. If that's your job, go find another job because obviously you don't want to do your job.
Why don't you go write for a political website where you can express those types of views?
If that's how you feel. If that's what you think it is, like, I don't and that's the thing, and that's where I feel.
Go work for the Washington Post or something.
A lot of these reviewers, exactly, and a lot of these reviewers think that their opinion matters, and actually the only reason why your opinion matters is because you, motherfucker, get to play the game before the public. That's why anybody gives a shit about you, because you are playing it before this. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't fucking care where you shit, where you eat, who you're with. I don't care. All I know is that you got to play a game before I get to tell me what you think about it, motherfucker. Tell me how it works. That's all I give a shit about. That's your value to me. I don't care where you shit. Just tell me about the game because you got to preview it before. That's all I need to know.
This is
your job. If you're getting paid, that's your job. Do it.
Yeah, this is why a lot of the big sites, I don't really go on and listen to a lot of their stuff. I watch guys like ACG,
ACG's fucking awesome. ACG's the fucking shit. He's the best.
He gives a straight up fair review.
Fucking awesome reviewer. They should take lessons from him. Fuck out of here.
Unbiased. He's an unbiased
dude. I don't give a shit if he was biased out the ass. His reviews are incredible because he's clean.
They're in details.
And you know what? It's fine because he gives his opinion. That's fine. But when you say, I'm not going to finish the game and I'm just going to give you my opinion on it and then slap a review score on it and come out blatantly and say this, that's bullshit. Like you said, if you don't have time to finish it, then you do a review in progress, impressions, or stream it with the community and review it together and experience it. Make it an event. Do something.
Yeah, but I totally agree.
But ACG, he has incredible reviews. Yo, his shit is fucking awesome. He's the only one I go to for real review.
That's why I go to him, and I'd rather listen to somebody like him or somebody I know that's close in the community that's playing and beating the game. I'd rather listen to their opinion of somebody I trust. Like there's so many people in the community. I'm like, this may not be their type of game. But the thing I like about them is they'll tell you, hey, this isn't my type of game, so that's why I may not like it. Versus people who are like, hey, this is why I like it, but I like these type of games. Whereas you have people they're like, oh, well, I don't like it because, they use the word xenons too much and we need to stop talking about xenophobia. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, what are you talking about? Like, they start bringing political stuff. Oh, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what are you talking about? Like, I heard a reviewer say something to that effect about Returnal. And I was just like, I don't really get what's going on. Like, you got to it's a game, put your opinion in it. About the game, stop making everything about everything else, and listen just about that because I don't know how you get certain things from certain games, and it really irritates me. It's like when people shitting on Crackdown, right? Crackdown 3. I played Crackdown, I beat it, I did the multiplayer, I did everything, but my opinion of it, I can tell you my opinion because I went through it and I put the time and effort and work through it, and I thought it was a solid 7 game, And some people say, "Oh man, you gave it this because you're an Xbox fanboy." I'm like, no, my primary place to be the PlayStation, but I'm a Crackdown fan, so that's why I played it. You see what I'm saying? Just like when Halo Infinite comes out, I'm gonna play it, I'm gonna get through it, whatever it is, it comes to be out, I'm gonna enjoy it, hopefully, and I'm gonna give my opinion about it. But my whole thing is like, once I beat it, at least, and that's why I have a hard time listening to people who will talk about a game they haven't played. I hate that. I hate somebody who will talk about a game they haven't played. Instead of you just saying, this is not my type of game, you will shit on the game and you haven't played it. And I'm like, wait, I'd rather you say, "Hey, this is not my type of game."
Exactly.
I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, let me go to somebody else and listen to what they have. There's somebody who may like this game because it just looks like something."
But Frog, this is the thing, Frog. This is where
I don't get.
But Frog, if you're talking about people, this is the distinction I want to make here. And shout out to Ryan Lands. Hit that like button. He says that he's reviewing our podcast right now. He says he's giving it a 5 out of 10. Not enough politics. He said, "Oh shit, he fucking giving us." We didn't finish yet. You didn't finish the full review. But this is the thing I want to just specify the difference, because I think you're talking about people's opinions on the internet and how people review it, and you want to know what? All you guys, all you grinders, all you guys in the panel, you guys could go and say whatever you want about a game. You could look at a game's title screen and go, "This game is trash." Do it. Do whatever you want to do. But the thing is guess what? It's not your job. You're not getting paid. These people are getting paid to do these reviews. This is their job.
Yes.
This is their job.
Professional reviewer.
Professional reviewers, quote unquote professional.
Yeah. Somebody on YouTube who fucking, who would say, "Oh, this game is trash," and they didn't play or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Whatever.
You'll get dislikes, likes. People will love you, hate you. Who cares?
But when you're talking about if you're a professional reviewer,
you're getting paid.
Professional journalist, there's a certain level that people expect when it comes to these reviews,
and that's the point.
What I mean? You can't just go in there and just start talking about a whole bunch of other stuff that's not about the game, because it doesn't inform me as the viewer about the game. You're just talking about your opinion at that point. At that point, just make a separate opinion piece. Review the game, right? And then if you want to do like a separate opinion piece on that, you felt something political about the game or some type of subliminal messages in the game or whatever, go ahead, put that as a separate opinion piece.
Exactly. And you read all these comments.
Break down the game itself.
And you read all these comments to this thing. It's like, here's another person. Shout out to this Red Zone guy. He goes, "A professional review needs a finish to finish a product. If you are being paid higher to product a review, or to make a review, you need to finish or have a depth knowledge of a product. A video game is a said product. If a product does not have an end, like multiplayer game issues, or technical issues that you can't finish it because you get locked in a room or something like that, then state that." And you need to, like, and especially in games that have narratives and things like that, like, even if you don't have enough time, you state why you can't review it. And I think this whole thread is just piles upon piles. This guy digs himself a hole into the thing, about and he gets tired, about the movie analogy. Yeah, this guy, I don't know where he came up. He got a bunch of clout points, and he just became the internet's bitch for a day because everybody just laid into him. Everybody's talking about how this guy from the Bible, amen to him, he's going to have to go to a convent somewhere and get the fuck out of here because people are going at his ass.
Yeah,
they come
more like the
pitchforks.
It's the Necronomicon on that part.
Yo, man, they're coming with the pitchforks and the fucking torches. They're coming after him.
I don't know how you can work as a company. Your company knows that you don't beat the price.
I don't even want to click on where he is and stuff like that. I don't even want to click on it.
I just don't get that.
Cole Moriarty laid into him too, and he wants him on it. And this is the thing. He goes, "Yeah, you seem to be interesting on a podcast. Like, there's a lot to unpack here. Would you like to be on my podcast?" He goes, "No thanks."
No thanks.
Yeah. No thanks.
Oh yeah, we already know.
No thanks.
We already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, I want to consider you for comment.
They completely, that's fucked up what they did to that man.
A critic who can't take criticism. What a shocker. He goes, "How do you know that? Anyone could criticize." This was entertainment for today. But I got to tell you what, there are some spooky ass people. And speaking about this, Returnal, just like Frog was saying, cheeks were clapped. Double time.
Man.
Because of this game, let me just give you my impressions, because I didn't finish the game, so I'm not reviewing it. Now, guess what? I don't get fucking paid. I could review it right now and give you a fucking 9 out of 10. Holy shit, but that's not what I'm saying. Anyway, it might be. But I'm not telling you. But anyway. Well, let me tell you what Returnal is. All right? Returnal is a unique type of game. A game that I feel really hasn't been done before. It takes a lot of cool differences. And this is the one thing that I wanted to bring up about Returnal. And just about the design, because this was one of the things that had me concerned. I know Chris was in it for day one, I think. He liked it. Chris, like he was all in. I had some concerns because I didn't know what the gameplay loop was going to be. I know that Housemarque makes incredible combat. They do incredible shooters, action. Give me another chance. You're sweating. You're like, one more game. They're like the best of arcades. Like you just like one more quarter, keep it in. I knew that they would do that, but I didn't know what the loop was gonna be. I didn't know this whole Returnal aspect. Like if you die, what happens? And I remember I was discouraged from rogue games because I don't play those kind of games. Frog knows, and Chris knows. I don't play those kind of games. I was afraid playing Demon Souls. That was my first game that did that. Like, you lose everything? I don't have time for that. But you want to know what? It's not as bad as it is. And when I was playing Demon Souls, I'm like, nah. It has this charm. You get better and play at it. Returnal's totally different.
Right.
Returnal, I don't feel is that type of Demon Souls game where it is trying to screw with you, trying to kill you at every turn. But you could have some good luck. It has to do with some luck, skill, and risk management. And that is the whole essence of Returnal. And if you look at it from Super Mario level stuff, and I was telling this to Frogs, like if you do this like where it's like World 1, World 2, World 3, World 4. Well, if I lose in World 4 or World 3, I go back to World 1. If you want to call the biomes worlds, if you look at it from that way, yeah. If you die in 3, you're going to go back to 1. But there's shortcuts. Just like in Demon Souls, where Demon Souls, you have the shortcut checkpoints within the map. You know, it's the same thing. Like there is some sort of, you know, you still could grind on that level, and that's the whole risk management thing. But you could actually jump right to the second biome and go right up to the third biome. And yeah, it's going to take some time, but that's the game. The game is that. And I just want to just lay that out there as like the impressions of Returnal, that I do think it is so unique in what it does. And I think it, for my final thing, and then we'll get Chris and Frogs' statement on it. But my thing is, I think it's one of the best games because my biggest concern was the procedural generated stuff. When I hear procedural generating, I think of reusing of assets. I think of just kind of repetitiveness. I think of like random shit where a chair is like on the ceiling because this computer is just randomizing shit and just coming procedurally generated. There's no thought to it. And actually, this game, it does it so well that is like thought to it. And it even integrates the story element into it as you're going through it to make stuff seem fresh, even though maybe the platform is the same in one of the setups, but there's different layout, there's different enemies, there's different things, and it feels like different each time through. And that's my initial impressions of it. What do you guys have to think? Chris, you go.
Yeah, so like Jess said, like I've been been excited about this game since day one as far as like the gameplay, how it looks. I always thought it looked very fun, very arcadey like gameplay, fast action shooter and stuff like that. You know, it kind of reminded me a little bit like of Vanquish, right? Even though the game is not like that when you play it, but even leading up to this game, like paying attention, right, being informed.
And I'm playing live, by the way, as Chris goes. Sorry, Chris.
Watching watching How Smart Podcast, I knew what they were trying to do with this game. So I knew about the procedurally generated aspects of it. And this game, they do it very unique and very smart to where every room is like handcrafted, right? But it's like the procedural generation really comes from, it's like the rooms shift around and how the rooms connect to each other also changes around. And what's really is the items and the enemies that you really don't know. Because sometimes you'll walk into a room and, you know, there's nothing there except like items, right? And whatnot. Then you go out, and then when you die and you come back and you walk into that same room, but it's like it's in a different location now. Now you walk into the room, now all of a sudden you're on lockdown and there's crazy fucking enemies spawning everywhere.
Oh my God, I've never seen this one. I'm dying left and right now as you're going over this. This is horrible.
Yeah, so, but as far as the game itself, like what I was trying to say earlier in the podcast is that the game utilizes all three features that Sony has really touted with the PlayStation 5, which is the SSD I/O, the DualSense, and the 3D audio. The way the game is designed with the loading, right? When you die, you get there instantly. When you transfer between locations, you get there instantly. There's little portals at the end of each level that takes you to the next level. That as soon as you go in, it's like 1 second of white screen, and you're in a totally new, different loaded level. And it's all the levels are randomly generated as far as the how they're connected and whatnot. So it just all loads that very quickly. So the game is definitely designed around to take advantage of that. Like the gameplay is designed. The 3D audio is amazing. Probably some of the best I've ever heard. Right, with the 3D audio. I don't have the Pulse headset. I got the Platinum, which has 3D audio. But because the Pulse headsets are sold out, bro. I can't get one right now.
You check on Best Buy.
And every now and again they go drops or whatever. But and then in the DualSense, every gun feels completely different, unique, and whatnot. Even the guns that you pick up, that even like say there's shotguns, right? But then each shotgun doesn't really have the same weapon traits, right?
Yes,
you get
like
one with a slug, right? You get one with a slug.
Exactly.
So you look from far away.
Yeah, I'm showing it right now in the game. Like if you press it halfway, that's your aim down sights, and the controller actually locks. Like it uses that adaptive trigger to kind of make it like a hair trigger. Like you press it, it actually physically locks, and then when you press it all the way, it actually does the second thing, and that's what Chris is talking about.
And you really got, and you really
this has a laser on
that,
it,
and the vibrations, and then just the sound design. Is so
I know the sound playing.
Was like the creatures and the guns when you're shooting it, and the sounds coming through the controller, and it's like, you know what I mean? It's just fucking like it's really amazing. The gameplay loop is very addictive. Yeah, when you die, you have to restart all the way from the beginning. Not that sounds very intimidating, but the game forces you to really learn its mechanics. And even though the game is very, very fast paced, you have to take your time and be patient.
I just fell off the
ledge. That makes sense
already.
The game is fast paced, but you gotta take time and patience. And then the whole thing with dying, a lot of people. This is why you really got to dig into the game and learn the mechanics, because there are items that can mitigate that. Like you can buy the astronaut figurine, which revives you back to life if you die, which you can pretty much find a lot of the times in the fabrication stations where you can fabricate. A lot of times you can find the astronaut figure, not all the time, but a lot of times you do find it in there, or you can find it in the world.
Chris, did you know, I'm going to tell you something. Me and Frogs figured this out last night. Do you know those rooms? I don't think I could show it here, but you know those rooms where it has like that Wolverine guy looking? That thing?
The reconstructor.
Yeah. You that's what I was, the ethers, you can use it as a sport point.
About to say that.
Sorry, I didn't know if you knew that. Yeah.
If anybody's going to, what I highly suggest is there's rare currency called ether, and you can use it for multiple things.
And it carries over.
But the best thing, and it carries over with each run, so it's not like it resets, right? The best thing you can do is save up your ether and use them for the reconstructor, because what the reconstructor does is if you die, right, it actually spawns you back at the reconstructor, which is in the level that you die. So you spawn back within the level. You don't spawn back at the beginning, and you keep all of your stuff. So if you're going to face a boss and a hard boss, right, and you don't feel like starting from the beginning, make sure you get an astronaut, and make sure you get the reconstructor, because then right there you have 2 chances of life without having to lose everything. Now, you die the third time or what? And sometimes the astronaut figurines can stack. Like one time I had 2.
Oh, I didn't know that. Frog.
And I died. I got brought back to life, and then I died again. And I got brought back to life again. So
there's also a parasite that brings you back to life.
Yeah, and there's a parasite, and that's the thing. It's like the parasite. There's also a lot of risk and rewards. Like some of the things, like the parasites will give you buffs, but at the same time will give you negatives. Or sometimes you'll go into a chest that has whatever it's called, malignancy or whatever, and sometimes that can give you a suit malfunctions, which gives you a debuffs, right? But it's a percentage of if that's going to happen. So sometimes you can open these items and not get any malfunctions at all, and you're scot free and whatever. Other times you can open them up, get a malfunction, but the malfunction doesn't stay with you permanent because it has different objectives to get rid of that. So different objectives will mean that, hey, get 6 melee kills and this malfunction will go away, or open a container or put on a parasite and this malfunction is
look at this malfunction I just got. Cannot pick up new weapons, but I took that risk so I could get weapon proficiency. So now I got to find something now to try to remove that malfunction, or use consumables to get rid of that malfunction, so then I could keep the perk and get rid of the malfunction, which is the negative effect.
Right. So the game forces you to really choose, because sometimes I'll have like 3 parasites in front of me, and I'll be really thinking hard. Like, do I really want to put this one, or if I put this one, maybe that, or maybe I have a consumable that helps me out that I left in the other room. So let me go ahead and put this on just in case something happens. And if anything goes bad, I can go back to that room, get the like the game has a lot of ways that it forces you to make smart decisions as you're going through the world. Because obviously you have to, because if you go in there reckless, you're going to lose your shit. And you're just going to keep dying, returning back over and over and over and over again. But the atmosphere is absolutely amazing. The visuals look great. I don't care about because nobody had a problem with the visuals until they were told what they're doing.
My God. Visuals, look at the game. I'm playing right now.
They're reconstructing 1080p. That have techniques that gives it up to 4K and whatever. But the visuals look great, right? It doesn't look amazing like a Demon Souls or anything like that, but it looks very well.
It looks looks good. I'm not complaining.
It looks good.
Look at this.
Yeah, I'm not complaining either. And the story is the way the story is being told and being delivered to you, and how it's spaced out and separated. It's just, even though it's very short as far as like the dialogue that they give you for the story, but the dialogue that they do give you, and I'm talking about the voice recorders and everything else. It's effective enough to really keep you interesting and really keep you engaged and want to learn more about what the fuck is truly going on in this world. Yeah. So overall, like I'm really loving it. It's definitely a next gen game because it's utilizing all three features that Sony promised us.
Exactly. And speaking of frogs, I keep going the wrong way. But frogs, like you're gonna go. I want you to go, but I just want to let the sound play, and I want you to hear the controller. What comes out of the controller? Ready? See, I messed up the reactive reload. I'm gonna watch it if I get it.
Now, I'm not gonna lie, the game isn't for anyone. So they're gonna be going to the game, you're just not gonna like it, and that's fine, right? Because it's
not for everybody. But
I'm telling people, if you're not liking it, because in the beginning I was kind of like, it's okay. I'm not I'm liking it, but I'm not like.
I gotta go to a secret room up here.
Super feeling it, right? But it wasn't until I got to the second biome.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get there
now. And I died a few times, and then I fought the boss. Like he kicked my ass twice, right? I got really pissed because I lost my shit. So I ran through. And here's the thing: once you beat the boss in the biome, you don't have to do that boss again, or you don't have to really run through. The only biome that you have to run through over is the first one. But after you unlock a new biome, there's shortcuts from the first one that you can take that immediately takes you to a new biome. And a lot of people don't know this because some people will start farming in the first to get themselves.
That's what I'm doing right now.
But here's the thing: what I've learned is that at the beginning of each new biome, right, except the first one, right at the beginning, every single time, and this ain't randomly generated. This is a guarantee This is a guarantee that it's going to be there every single time at the beginning of each biome. You're always going to get an item that increases your proficiency a couple of levels up. You're always going to get a healing consumable and some type of starting weapon for that area. So if you die and come back to the first one, if you don't have the reconstructor or the astronaut, you can quickly run back, take the shortcuts to the biome without engaging any enemies in the first biome. Get to the biome that you're at, and they already gave you a few items right at the beginning, so you can start off with that biome. So you can go through it or whatever. So that's just some little techniques and stuff that I've learned. And then also the game really opens up. Once you start getting like your permanent items, right? Like first you get your melee weapon, then after you beat the second biome, you get a grappling hook.
Yeah.
Once you get that, that's where I'm at, right? I'm in the third one. Once you get that, right? Because all of the biomes have grappling points and shit like that. The game really opens up, and you can really use it, and it gets really fun because you can really start utilizing the environments in combat with the grappling hook. So it's like there's a ton of projectiles coming your way, and there's a crazy Titan Ops about to leap on you. Boom! You can just take the grappling hook and just escape out of there and reset the situation and assess the field and everything like that. Use your environments. There are covers in their environments. Use them, and don't be afraid to do the door cheese. And what I mean like that,
that's
the door
what I
cheese,
do
right?
all the time.
Yeah, it's where you go. It's where you go. Nope. It's where you go behind.
I should have done it right now. Holy crap!
You take a few steps. The door opens up, and you're shooting the enemies right there,
that's
right
what
at the door.
Door
and
cheese. Yeah, I'm gonna do it right now.
Yeah, and when they do, and then when they fire back at you, just step a couple of steps back and make the door close, and then just keep doing
that door cheese.
So
then there's some doors that lock behind you though. Those I hate. Oh man, when you go into those rooms and it's like.
But it does have its challenges. It is gonna be frustrating. You are gonna die. You're gonna die a lot, like a Souls game and shit like that. Some people will get through it. Some people are not. The really appreciate about this game is the game is really, really skill based.
And but it's fun. The thing is, the combat is so satisfying that
you want to get better.
Yeah,
you want to get skillful.
This is a special room right here. I'm gonna go.
You have to take everything into account, even your dodges. You gotta be like, well, am I gonna use a short dash this time just to get out of the way, or I'm gonna use a long? If I use a long dash, I have a potential to misread the dash and get hit by a projectile. Or if I do, you know what I mean? So it's like because sometimes it's like
it's gone now.
The dodge has iframes, but when you get to the third biome, just there's these machines that shoot a bunch of.
I know Frog. I saw Frog doing it. Frog.
They shoot a bunch of rockets at you that like when they're shooting the rockets at you. Even if you do the long dodge, if you don't do it at the right time, the rockets are still gonna fucking hit you, even after you dodge.
Yeah. So now
you gotta do it at the right time.
Frog, I know. And Frog, you're gonna talk about that. And the thing is like I just want to show right now. So this is the thing here. Like this is gonna be like a dungeon room where there'd be 3 waves of enemies in here. And I blow up this thing, and I could go in this room and do that. Now, I could do that and probably get better loot and maybe get some better integrity and stuff like that. And then this is what Chris was talking about, where this room is the room that's like this shows up whenever. Like this map is always different whenever you respawn. So like that room could be like right when you enter in, or that room could be further ahead. Usually it's in the beginning, like it's around there. And then this is the room what takes you to the second biome. So like. I beat the boss already in the first biome, so like I now could jump right to the second biome, and I could go into this room and fight a wave of enemies, or I could do this. And this is where like you could grind up, or you come in here and your weapons will get proficiency. So if I go here, I can't go back. But I'm going to go into that room and fight some enemies while Frog tells us about his experience with Returnal.
Man, where do I start? So when I first saw the game, and they announced it, I was like, I don't know what exactly this game is. And then when they showed gameplay, it reminded me of just the atmosphere and how everything was. It reminded me of like, I was like, man, just listen, it reminded me of this Metroid type game. Then having a game in my hands, I got a lot of strong Metroid vibes from it. Like just, the aliens and just the things you go through in the game, the weapons, how you get weapons, and certain things are permanent and certain things aren't permanent. That really, I was like, oh, okay, this is permanent, and I gotta find this, this melee weapon, this sword. And, I went to the next biome, and I was like, man, why can't I get to this part right here? And then when I beat the second boss, I was like, I got a grapple hook. All these orange places now that I couldn't get to, I can get. That's a very Metroid-ish feeling to it, and I love games. I love the Metroidvania type games, and so that's one thing it does well. Another thing it does well is something BG said that I wholeheartedly agree with him. It has one of the best maps in a game that moves a lot.
Yes. If it had a control map, this thing would have been gone.
Yes.
If it had a controls
map. You can
really
tell where everything. They don't really hide a lot of stuff on the map to like, there's some secrets. Don't get me wrong. Like there's secret rooms and stuff you can miss. But what I'm saying is like everything is on the map. You're like, oh man, I need help. Oh, I can see that plus sign here, or something's here, or something's here. It just depends on, do you have the equipment to get to that item or not, and it makes you feel good when you finally like Chris said, like when you get something that's permanent, you don't know how effective it is until you start using it, especially like the grappling hook. To me, I would say, in my personal opinion, like I've been playing for quite some time, and I know we know I could talk about like little things like glitches and stuff, and it's not been.
Yeah, I got stuck in one room. Like I couldn't teleport out of it. That was the only thing that I've had.
Yeah, that happened to me twice. I haven't had any crashes.
I got stuck 5 times in a room, so I was like, "This is bull crap," And apparently they patched the game, and I was like, "Cool." But so that,
they passed the game. They passed the game today, right? But when they passed the game, I got an audio glitch on one of the levels. I was like, what?
Yes, I did. Okay, I got an audio glitch yesterday, so I think they passed the
horrible.
game. So I think they patched the game so you don't get stuck in rooms and you can use the DLC suits. So that's like the only major things. But for a game like this, like you don't want to get a glitch like that because you're like, oh, I got to start all the way over.
I
think this game, what I learned from is like, now that I'm in the third biome, I really learned that when you get the next big item you get, like when you go with your sword, like your sword is like, you need that sword in the first biome. You don't realize how much you need it. And then when you get it, you're like, yo, these enemies are so much easier. I can just dash this way, and I can melee.
Yeah, it's one hit kill. Yeah.
Right. And then after you beat that second biome, you get that grappling hook.
That's right, man. I'm playing it live.
I think to me personally, that's when the game really opens up because the grappling hook lets you access so many more areas. And I know there's
it opens up
game that I accidentally saw somebody streaming. I accidentally saw, and I was like, "Oh, that's
no spoilers, no spoilers,
no spoilers, Frog." As much as I'm playing, I just beat the dungeon.
Spoiled it for me, but it was a spoiler for me, but it wasn't because I had a theory of this may be something I may be able to get to travel to this place, and then when I saw it, I was like, "Yup, I knew it." So it has a very Metroidvania feel. I love that. The atmosphere is real dark and creepy. It has like a very man, like okay, if anybody's known there's a house in the game, I know you guys seen it in the preview. You can go inside that house, right? And I won't spoil it, but what I'll say is that first time I went in that house, it gave me strong like PT vibes. I was like, oh man, this is some, this is like a Metroid kind of thriller. Look, a lot of people will say Dark Souls because it is hard, right? And I will say this game is hard, but what I will say about this game is very, to me, in my opinion, just the movement and how you play is very fair. Like if you die, it's more likely because you really got you overcompensated and you got cocky. Because the times I've died in this game, I got cocky because I was doing so well. But then you learn from your mistakes, and I started learning like, oh, I need max suit integrity. Oh, I need to build my 2 bars of health. Oh, these are the items I like to have on standby in my slot. Because everybody's gonna play different. What's so cool about it is like, I was watching Jez play. And
I'm doing with your method right now. Unfortunately, I didn't have a teleporter. But when you go back, before I go to the next biome, get Frog, tell them what you do.
Oh, what I do, this is what I did. I found out by accident. I ended up going around the map, and then I was like, well, you know what? I wonder if I can go back in my ship. And you could. And so I started exploring my ship, and I was like, I had the little triangle button. I was like, lay down in bed. And I noticed when I lay down in bed.
Yeah, you can rest.
My health came back, and I was like, oh, shit. They messed up. So now what I did, that's how I beat the first biome. Like, I got 2 long health bars. I had an astronaut, and then I had one of those parasites on me that it revives you when you die. So I had 2 revives. Then I had a bomb-ass weapon, which the weapons, like, this is some crazy stuff. I watched Jez play, and he had a weapon I had never saw until I got to the second biome. Then I watched another one of my friends play, and he had a weapon that I never saw. And I was like, yo, how'd you get that weapon? He was like, and he had to beat the first biome. And I was like, oh, so every biome, you may have a different weapon.
Right,
right.
For different people,
room, and I was like, yo, I've never seen that in that biome.
Yo,
but here's the thing. I realized with this game,
I'm going to the next biome.
You're going to have to play this game not just once. You're going to play it multiple times because there's a lot of little what they call secrets and little glyphs you can get to unlock to really get the main story, the whole story. And I've heard from various different people that there's like
after you beat the game, like that's you officially like beat the second act, but but you're gonna have to play through the game again, and apparently there's a specific item. There's one in each biome. It's a specific. I don't know what it is, and I don't want to spoil it.
I don't know what it is either.
And it's randomly placed at different spots of the biome, so it's not gonna be the same for everybody. But once you run through all the biomes again and get through all the
Jez, you could have went to sleep and got all your health back.
Yeah, and get all that.
I didn't get all the health back. I went to sleep, Frog. I didn't get all my health back. That's right.
Yeah, you can go to sleep as many times as you want and get your health back.
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I just
went to
but
only on the first biome because the thing is
that's where the ship is.
where
only
the ship is.
Only where your ship is.
Yeah.
Because
once you go, I would have went back to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm not going back.
No, because once you go to another biome, you can't go back to the first one. You're completely.
Neil's asking in the chat. He goes, where can he find the sword? Is it a random room?
Dude.
It's just
no. Here's the thing with the sword, and I'll tell you because it's no secret. You gotta look at the map and follow that orange beacon, because you follow that orange beacon, it's gonna
it tells you.
Yeah. So Neil, follow the orange beacon. Don't go after the boss because that's part of the tutorial. Like you got to get that kind of stuff. So this is the thing. I'm gonna show. So blue triangles are usually like loot rooms or treasure rooms. Like that's kind of like a shop.
Yeah. Blue triangle. Yes. And then the yellow ones with the star on them, that's a challenge room.
That's the challenge room, which I did.
Yes.
And then the one with the circle over it is what that takes you to the next biome. So that's what you want to
the next biome.
Yeah.
And the one with the boss on it has
that's a red one.
It's completely red.
Yes.
Yeah. So like Frog said, the shout out to Housemart because they made they made a amazing map, which is extremely helpful and easy to use.
Yes,
you cannot get lost with that map. Like you would know exactly. You would know when you go in and you see the doors. It's like, okay, I see the blue triangle. I know this is an item room. Okay, this is just a regular, light blue square. So I know this is gonna take me to, this is gonna progress.
You'll know what kind of room it is before you even go in.
Exactly.
Before you even go in.
And the thing is too is like what these blue doors, right? Behind every one of those blue doors, it's gonna be different and every time. Like you might have the same layout there, but it's going to be different. And the same thing happens here. Now, I got into the second biome. Just look at the difference in the graphics now. Like, I mean, in the environment. Like now now watch how open this one is compared to the first one. And this is what Chris was saying. So I just got the power efficiency one. They give you a vial of energy. So they always give you that stuff. There's nothing up here. Oh no, look at this. There's energy up here now. I didn't have that before. There's no That's why I always go to the spots because you might be familiar, like, oh, yeah, well, this is the one with the steps over here. Like, you'll know the layout of this little, like, piece. But the thing is that there's different stuff there that you might,
until you get out, you won't know how different it is.
Now, watch this. Look how open this is now. Like, now, it's still, and look, okay, so I can't use that. Wait, I have a question. There's a thing here. This energy thing. How do I get into there? Mm-hmm. This energy ball. Mm-hmm. There's, like, an energy ball when you first get into the second biome. Is there?
Jez, I'm in the third, and I haven't unlocked. I'm pretty sure it's
a thing.
Either some type of unlock or some.
Yes, there's orange energy ball.
I think that has to do with the item you have to get.
I'm sure it's like the grappling hook.
I haven't got that open either.
Right? Yeah, because I haven't got that item yet. Because I thought you just hit it with the sword.
That's what I did.
Nope. Because in the first biome, there's energy doors like that.
The red one, the red, the red energy. No, it's red. The red, I know there's yellow ones, but those you can't break. The red ones you can break with the sword, right? The red energy fields you can break with the sword, but the yellow ones you can't.
Guys, hit that like button. I'm trying to do live demo on a podcast. This is Grinds My Gears quality content right here. Hit that like button, share it out, man. I'm trying to do it while they're talking about it.
Chris said something.
This is some live review stuff right here.
The things that Sony told you of the PS5 was going to do, this game takes advantage and it focuses on those. And I'm like, that's what I think when you develop a game and you're like, hey, we could take advantage of this controller, this 3D, this sound. We talked about the sound, and we talked about how fast it was going to load. Everything Sony talked about that the PS5 was going to do, this game takes advantage and it does it. And I'm with Chris. I don't think this game is for everybody. This game is not for the lighthearted. But I think this is a genre that exists and a lot of people don't know how good the genre may be. And I think this is a different way to kind of like experience the genre in a different way and in a more mature way, I should say.
This is the first big budget AAA game in this genre that's like this.
Right. Yes.
Yes. All the other ones are usually top down or side scrolling or right, and they're usually made by indie games.
In here.
That's a great thing. I think I like the fact that
I don't like the shotgun.
It's kind of like when the Souls genre was kind of first getting out there and people didn't really know what it was. Now it's its own genre of games. Like people say Souls like,
people love it.
And I think we'll get to the point where we're like, oh, this is a rogue kind of game, and I think that people are gonna say, oh, this is a rogue like shooter. Or this is a Souls like, you know, because some people will say, oh, it's kind of like with the toughness, it's like a Souls game. But people will say, well, you know, it's a Souls kind of, it's a roguelike. And I say, what this game does well, and I can say absolutely well, is it's addictive. No matter how many times I died, and a lot of people will say, man, you're weird. But to me, no matter how many times I died, I was so much more interested in just kind of moving forward
to see what's next. That's right.
Yes, because I was.
It keeps you engaged to keep going. Yeah,
you'll see. If I die, you'll see how different it is the next run through.
Jez watched me last night beat that second boss, and I'm gonna tell you, this game gives you a euphoric feeling when you beat a boss. Like
Heartbeat,
you feel
crazy.
Like you're on cloud 9. Like you're like you're so excited to beat this boss. Like it's such a feeling, kind of like a Souls game where you're like,
you get stressed because you're building up to fight him, fight the character. That's like you build like it's everything you do. Everything you do, your abilities, your hits, like oh my god, like the money, the things that you spent, the decisions that you make are all to beat that boss.
Yeah, you gotta make sure you pay. You gotta make sure. I mean, you don't have to do this, but it helps a lot. You gotta make sure you reload at the right time, right? Like
I'm showing right now. Look at these guys.
Because that really helps you. If you don't get that down, you don't get that timing down. You're gonna be more at a disadvantage. And not saying you can't do it, but you're gonna be more at a disadvantage unless you learn the timing of their, different to the different weapons. Also, another thing is like, as far as like things that carry over that people need to understand, it's like the items such as the sword and grappling hook obviously carry over. Yeah, and the only other thing that carries over is your progression and your unlocks of different weapon traits.
Yeah,
so that stays with you.
So for example, it's like every weapon, right, has their own unique traits that that you have to unlock by using the weapon itself, right? And it has
you have to
it has that weapon. It has a progression bar, but once you unlock that progression bar, that unlock is now permanent. So if you die and if you pick the weapon up again that has that same trait, you don't have to worry about unlocking the trait again. It's already unlocked for you.
It's already unlocked.
And then each weapon has their own unique trait. Like for example, like you'll get a shotgun that spits acid rounds, or you get a shotgun that has a slug where you can shoot far away. You can shoot enemies from far. So you have like a long range shotgun. Sometimes you get a shotgun that has both traits. Sometimes you get a machine that when you shoot it, these little waves come out to deal more damage. Sometimes you get a weapon that has an auto aim lock on feature. So
I got one now. And then you get these the abilities for your suit. Like I just got one now. I had a key to get into
this fabricator for your suit. Yeah.
Now if I get hit, I emit energy. So like, but now this weapon, look, it has like a Thor electricity.
Yeah, and another thing real quick is at first I was kind of like worried about the left trigger, like you aim down halfway and then you pull it all the way.
Get used to it.
No. But listen. At first I was like, oh, that means I'm probably gonna be accidentally pulling it all the way or whatever. No, but no, the way that they lock it, it's like. When you're gonna pull. When you're gonna pull for the secondary.
Oh yeah.
You're never gonna accidentally hit the secondary unless you're really just fucking.
Unless you're nutcase.
But what it is, Chris? When you play this game, it feels natural. It feels
very
natural. It doesn't
natural.
feel like a gimmick. It feels very natural.
Yeah.
But know what else is interesting too, and
you can always remap all the buttons too.
Yeah, but know what's interesting too is that what they're able to do with these triggers, it's not just tension, but they're actually manipulating the trigger to give you two functions. I was telling the frogs when I first played the game, I'm like, when the Xbox Elite control, one of the features was a hairline trigger, so like that you could be quicker shooting like this because it actually physically limits you fully depressing down the trigger and it lets you get more shots off, right? The fact that they could do that with this controller without having to do any physical modifications or having an Elite controller, and the fact that they could do that just with the functionality inside the thing, this is the first game of its kind that actually has two functions triggers. Like it's aim down sights and this. If it didn't have that, you would have to use like R1 to use your special ability or something or L1. This is actually giving more functions to the trigger, which I thought was pretty ingenious, a special way of, of implementing the resistive triggers, those tensions. It's a gameplay functionality. With it.
You're fighting that big ass turtle.
I hate this friggin' turtle.
Yeah, you gotta aim at his head. You gotta stick
Blastoise.
Yeah, Blastoise. That's right.
Yeah.
Squirtle.
I will say that this, like when Chris was like, "This is not for everybody." I so agree, but I think this is a game that if you own this console and you really want to see something that's very unique to what this console could do, this is something you pick up and you try it out, and you may or may not like it, right? But the fact is, you're gonna play this game. You're like, I've never played anything like this. Like, I know, like my brother-in-law, like he's pretty much a super casual guy. Like he only plays his Maddens, his Call of Duty, and I always tell him like, you don't have to own a PlayStation. You can own any console. So when he couldn't find a PS5, I was like, just go buy an Xbox, Series X. And he was like, I don't want an Xbox. I was like, why? He's like, it's trash. I was like, why? He's like, because it's an Xbox. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, you can own any console because you don't play like any of the exclusives. Like you don't like freaking Uncharted. You don't like God of War. He doesn't like any exclusives. So I'm like, for you as a person, and this is how I explained it to him. I was like, for you as a person, it does not matter what console you buy. The only reason he wants to buy a PlayStation is because his fear is like, well, if I play my Call of Duty game or my Madden game or my Grand Theft Auto game, I'm not going to be able to play with my people that have PlayStations. I'm like, you know what? We're going far and far away from that. So I'm like, it doesn't, like, and I told him, I was like, for you as a person, it doesn't matter what console you buy because you're super casual. And that's what I'll tell anybody. If you just like, I buy my Call of Duties, my Maddens, and my FIFAs, and the typical Assassin's Creeds and the games that come out like that, it don't matter what console you own. But if you're looking for something that you're like, if you understand the tech and you want to see something that's different, then I think that's what matters, and that's what really shows you. Because even if you own an Xbox, he wouldn't buy Halo, he wouldn't buy Gears of War because he doesn't play games like that. So like, I would.
But the thing is, Frog. The thing is, like, why would you like if you could play all those games and get other games that nobody else is getting? Why wouldn't you have your cake and eat it too? Why would you limit yourself and limit yourself from experiences like this to play the game that's on this? So that's why I would say get a PlayStation, and the fact that you could get these games if you like them, or you could just play your other games. You want to see something cool? Watch this. I'm going to teleport back to the beginning. And I'm going to use the PlayStation effect, the reveal.
Yeah, I told him there's nothing wrong with you owning a console. I said, but you're a really super casual guy. So I said, when he was looking for his PS5, I was like, hey, man, like he came over the other day when I had Returnal. He got his PS5, and I was like, he's like, what's this? And I was like, oh, it's a new game for PlayStation. He was like, yeah, nothing I would play. And in my head, I'm like, wait, dude, you slaved over getting a PS5. You got one, and then you don't even play any of the games that could take advantage of it.
This dungeon looks totally different.
Yeah, so people like him, I say, and because I know people like him. That
I got killed, Frog!
Ooh. Hold on.
And that's what grinds my gears.
That's what grinds my gears. Hit that like button. Look at that. I got killed trying to get a treasure. I didn't see him. So now watch what happens. This is a perfect effect, guys. I was having a decent run. I got my ass handed to me. But, like, I just died. And now I'm back at the first biome, right? People are like, oh, holy shit, like, oh my God. But now watch how different this is. So now I do have, I got 7 ethers, right? So I got 7. Yep. They're laughing because I got shot looking at a goddamn treasure.
Bro, I got 20 ether right now.
I know, man. But now, see, I can cash 5 ethers in here to get a device, but I'm to get like a bonus thing. I don't want a bonus thing because I want to save them. Now look at this level. Look.
Yeah, you know what? I don't even use that no more because I could just find shit. The shit that they give you, I can just find that throughout the level.
But look how different this is than what I just did. Like this level. Remember when I first started the stream, I was doing. I had the pathways, and now look at this one. This one's totally different. And now watch how different this is. There's enemies here. Look, there's laser beams now. Now this has some platforming skills here. And oh no! And I fell down.
Yeah, I'm really interested and curious to see how and I'm really hoping that the post-launch support for this game from Housemarque. I want to see, like, I'm really curious. Are they gonna add like new biomes, right, or new challenge runes or stuff like that?
Good.
And it's crazy because you know that Hunter on Twitter, right? Hunter, right? Yes. The one on Twitter. Dude with the glasses. He said that he's put 60 hours within the game already. He already beat the game like 2 or 3 times already, right?
Going this challenge.
He's put 60 hours in the game. You can go. You can see this on his Twitter, right? He put 60 hours in the game, and he's playing the game again today. And he said that there's rooms in the first biome, the overgrown ruins, that he's just now seeing for the first time ever.
Yes, and that's what I said about the procedurally generated stuff, in the fact that they still make it new. Like, it's so weird the way they introduce the stuff that you still, like, it makes the first biome still newer. Like, that's the interesting thing about it. Like, it's not like, oh, I got to do that again. Yeah, you might feel that way after a few hours.
But it's one of those games, like, I tell people, I say,
so much fun, though, to shoot.
Like, I'm like, man, just try it out. Like, you don't know if you don't like it.
Hey, man, people are.
I'll tell anybody, if you're on the fence about it, I kind of would say, if you know somebody, you can, profile share, so forth. Try it out. It's not what you think it is. It's not as. It's hard, but it's not. It's a different kind of hard. It's one of those hards where, if you're not a patient person, I can say you may not.
See, I knew I shouldn't do that challenge room.
But the joy that you feel after you beat a biome and you beat that boss and you get to the next one, you get that next.
It's such a relief. You're just like,
oh my god, I was doing it.
Yeah, like right now,
bro,
that I beat that second biome. I got the grapple hook. I can go right to the third biome. I don't even have to go to the second biome anymore.
Yeah, you don't gotta go through the second biome.
See, I'm gonna make a run right for the second biome. All right, no more challenge. Now watch this room.
I have a clip, and I wish I would have done it longer because you can hear my sigh all the way. But I beat because I was pissed off about the second boss. So I ran all the way up there. Like I didn't engage. I engaged with a few enemies on the way up and stuff like that. I got my integrity increased a little bit, and I bought the the consumable that heals you. Right. I ran up there, and I grabbed because at the beginning of each boss they give you there's a pistol lane there that you can grab.
Yes, they give you a weapon in case you want to just speed run.
I took the pistol.
Took the pistol.
And that's what I beat the boss with. I beat the boss with that pistol. No, because it's viable enough. It's viable.
They give you the weapon right before the boss fight.
Don't sleep on the pistols, especially the pistols that have the homie missiles.
Yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah,
you get the one. Good. You get the one with the homie missile, and then the extra, and then the extra trade on it, and you have your adrenaline at 5. Your adrenaline.
You need enough energy. See, look.
That shit does. That
room's right here.
That shit really does the damage. But you can see, like in the video. You can hear, like, after I beat him with the pistol, you can hear me just a huge sigh of relief because I forgot that my controller mic records. Right? So I forgot that my controller. So you can hear me going. Oh, you can hear me just giving up a big sigh.
I cursed the second boss out. I was like, yeah, you mother.
See, now I just ran right to the second biome right now. That room was right there, and I got that proficiency skill. And then see, I have a key here, so like, let's see. I mean, I don't have a good weapon really. Like,
motherfuckers that I'm like, there's some motherfuckers that
I like about this game. And one thing I will say that I like about this, and this is what I hope the future of gaming is.
See how different it is?
That we get new experiences that are so drastically different from the norm. Like, it's great not to have a Uncharted or a God of War.
Never played a game like this.
Yes, exactly.
It's something we've never played really. And even if there are games like it, it's not been done in this way. And now this gets people into a new genre of a game, and they're like, "Yo, I didn't know I like this kind of stuff." And I do think that this taps into that big Souls community. I think a lot of people who play Souls will like this game because I don't know, people who play Souls.
I'm huge. But here's the thing: is like this game is not a Souls game. It's not like
it's different.
The only thing that I will compare. The only thing that I will compare this game with Souls games is the fact that both games, right? Actually, they force you to really learn the mechanics of the game. Like you have to learn and get good and if you want to talk about things transferring over after you die, this is gonna sound cliche and corny, but the most important things that transfer over every time you death is skill and knowledge.
Yes.
Which is the most important thing. Skill and knowledge. You get better and you learn more.
The air. Yeah, the platform. Oh my god. While in midair, 50% damage. Less. That sucks. Yeah. I gotta get rid of that thing.
I'll tell you, it's definitely a game that's
you can't jump now and shoot.
And like I said, I've been waiting for. Look, there's no fact. I know there's no secret. I love Metroid. Even if Nintendo did a Metroid Prime trilogy and re-released it on the Switch, I'd buy it because I'm a huge Metroid fan. I beat every Metroid game. I think they're great games. I like that mystery behind them. That's why, I was like, this is kind of right up my alley. And I'm like, oh, this is like
right here.
If Sony was like, hey, we're gonna make a Metroid type-ish game, but we're gonna so it's like some of it's Metroid, some of it has some elements to it that are really. I just like this. This game is very unique in itself. It's not super hard to explain. But for a person who's never really played a type of game like this, it can be kind of difficult.
It killed me again.
Like if a person like when I was trying to explain it to my brother-in-law, I was like, well, it's kind of like.
See, I had a horrible mulligan.
And in my head, I was like, ooh, if I say Souls, he's gonna be like, nope, I ain't playing it because he hates Souls games because he doesn't get the purpose of like why you gotta die and restart. He's one of those guys. He's like I said, super casual. Like buys a $500 PS5 just to play his Madden and his Call of Duty. I'm like, dude, that's a waste of money. Like, actually, you know what I'm saying? Like, play the games. Because I always try to get him to play different genre of games, and he's like, oh, that game looks like trash. I'm like, play Uncharted. Oh, that looks like trash.
Oh, here's the house.
That looks like trash. And so I'm like, what do you
can't go into it,
He's
though.
like, man, if it ain't Call of Duty, it ain't Madden, it ain't 2K, I ain't playing it. I'm like, dude, you bought a $500 piece of equipment to play 3 freaking games, the same games every year. Why upgrade? And I'm like, man, you gotta try the God of War game. It's so good. And he saw me play. He's like, it's something on to watch. He's like, but I ain't playing that game. The game looks like ass. And it's not that it looks bad to him. It's just he doesn't. In his mind, he's like, it's too time consuming for him to play. So I heard it. I
know what it is, Frog. It's just that he probably sucks at the game. He doesn't want to learn a new game. He doesn't want to learn a new game. Some people are like that.
No, he doesn't. Yeah.
My brother's like same way. My brother will not try. He doesn't want to suck at a game. He's like, I don't want to learn this. I know this game, and that's it. And every game looks like trash because I don't want to learn a new game. And that's what people want to do.
My brother's the same way.
Yeah, you don't want to learn.
Every game that I like,
try this out. No, I play hockey and that's it. I know hockey.
Yeah, my brother's
like, all right.
My brother sticks to Call of Duty and sports games, and I'm like,
because that's what he's good at.
And then he'll be like, he'll see the most trash game. He'll be like, hey man,
you gotta understand. That's why the Souls games definitely people say are niche and stuff. Because the thing is that people, this is their escape.
Oh, they're
sometimes.
not niche no more.
Well, okay.
But you know what kind of game?
But I'm saying like they're the thing is that they are not. Some people want to feel empowered. They want to feel like the superhero. They don't want to feel underpowered. They want to feel like they could go in a game and own shit. Either own people or own the characters in the game. So some people don't like where you feel underpowered or you got to learn it. Almost like how it is in the arcades. Like, you had to like master the game and stuff. People don't like some of that.
But like I said, these are the same people I'm talking about. Like my brother and my brother-in-law, that every year will buy the same Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
or they'll see a new Watch Dogs trailer and think it's amazing. Or they see the new Call of Duty and think it's amazing. Or they see the new Madden and 2K. And I'm like, or they'll see a game like Homefront Revolution. They're like, oh man, that game looks fire because you can shoot.
Oh,
but hold on, they're like Homefront Revolution. Oh my gosh, that game looks fire because you can shoot guns. I'm like, what? It's not doing anything different. And then they see me playing a game like Skyrim, or they'll see me playing a game like Fallout. They're like, that game looks like ass. I'm like, what's ass about it? They're like, that's nothing I will play. I'm like,
all right.
Why don't you just sit down and try to learn and play? They're like, nope. Like anything with a big
one last thing
element to it, they won't play.
Well, one thing I want to ask, what do you think about the whole? What do you think about the whole last thing on here before we're we've been going late and the grinders? Like to see more stuff about the Returnal. But the thing is what do you think about that whole UK thing? I know it was only like 2 days, but what do you think about the sales, like not selling like a typical Sony game? They were saying some article came out about that it didn't sell as much, and didn't include digital. It was just the physical sales in UK for 2 days, and I think that's where it was. But they were just saying somebody brought it up.
It came second behind Pokemon.
From Pokemon,
Snap.
yeah.
Right, Pokemon is a big name.
In UK.
Yeah, this is a new IP, and I would say, like, that's not. I don't think it's a bad deal. I don't think it's a bad look. I think that this game is gonna sell to me like kind of like I would say there's a large group of people that, like I said, the demographics of this game is going to really hit that Souls kind of like genre of people who play games like Souls games. That's the market they're really aiming for. I don't think a person like that doesn't play a Souls type game, that difficulty of type game, is going to play this game. You know, because I got a buddy and he got Demon Souls because it looked pretty, and we played it and he couldn't get past like I think it was like the first boss in the Demon Souls, and he was like, "Man, fuck this game," and I was like, "Dude," and then I helped him get past it, and he got to like he got all the way to the mine area, and he was like, "Fuck this game," and I was like, "You got to be patient." His thing is, nope. He was like, "Nope, I'm super casual." He's like, you know,
calls
so
himself that.
He bought Returnal, right? He got Returnal, and he got into it, and we played it, and it crashed on him once, and he was like, "Fuck this game." Like one time, it crashed on him, and he was like, "Fuck this game. I got patience for any game that crashes on me." I was like, "Damn," and I was like, and I convinced him. I was like, "Dude, they're gonna come out with a patch quick because they know it's a problem." Then they came out with a patch, and then me and him
patch came out today.
And I just explained some things about the game, and then he played the game, and he beat the first boss, and he was like, "Oh shit." He's like, "I did it." And I was like, "See, it's not that bad."
Yeah, the combat's incredible. But you can see, like, I died like 4 times already, and you see how, like, it's different each time.
But you know why he's sticking with it? The reason he's sticking with it because he likes the combat.
Yeah, the combat is awesome.
Yeah, that intrigues him. Like, he's like, "Yeah, I gave up on Demon Souls." He's like, "Fuck that game." He's like, "But I'll play this," because he's like, "At least I got guns." So he's like, any game with guns, he'll play. You know? So it's kind of like, you know, I'm kind of like, hey, man, so I think this game, I'm going to be honest with you, if this game sells, I'll be honest, if this game sells 5 million, I'd be surprised. And the reason I'm saying 5 million is because I just don't think the market for games, like, I don't play games for the difficulty. I play games to have fun. But in this game, it's difficult, but it's also fun. And so, like, I've never played a game where I'm like, "Oh, man, I got to play this because it's so difficult." But the game is fun. Like, I'm enjoying what I'm playing. So, you know, there's some people who aren't going to enjoy it because it may just be too difficult for them. They're like, "Look, I just want to have fun. All this dialogue is not for me." My mind frame is like, "Yo, I'm interested in this story. I'm interested in this." When I got to like the third biome, I was like, "Yo, this is completely different from what I played in the first and second one." And I want to progress and go further and further. And I'm going to beat the game, you know, obviously. I'm going to beat it. But I just don't think this game is for everyone. You know, I watched a little bit of BG, and I was like, "Yeah, this is BG's type of game. This is Eric Cuts for the game, for the win type of game. This is Ashton Lucas type of game." You know what I'm saying? Like, all the people who play those type of games, you can tell who this game is for, and they're probably going to like it. You know, but like I saw, like, Kids Move, this is probably not his type of game. No disrespect.
Nah, he's not gonna like it. He wouldn't like
this is not his type of game, you know. And it's nothing, you know.
He's gonna play it though, because he's getting a challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
Hard A said it. Hard A's like, man, he's like, "Man, this is not my type of game." He's like, "Fuck that," and I can respect that because
he played it.
He played it, and this is not for him. And I can honestly say, I agree. This is not going to be for everybody. But the people who do play it and sit back, I think they're going to thoroughly enjoy it, and I'm hoping that there's a big enough fan base here that it becomes that, you know, that critical success that Sony's like, "Yeah, we can make another one," or we could Housemarque, you can make something else for us, because I want to see different types of games that we haven't seen before. Like, this is a new IP, number one, and it's something different we've never really seen, and they're taking it to a different level. Like, we've seen game type is like this, but not to this level. And so I'm like, yo, that's what gaming needs. Gaming needs to move forward like that. I don't need, like, I enjoy my Call of Duty, like the Next Man or whatever, but it's great when you get that game, you're like, yo, I've never seen anything like this before. Because I can't really think of a game on the market that's really like this. It's a mixture of a lot of different things. You know?
Exactly. And the story is like, you know, and the game feels like Prometheus. And, you know, even the other thing, too, I was realizing, these Sentinel guys. You know, fighting these Sentinel guys definitely reminds me of, like, you know, even the Matrix, like, you know, fighting those Sentinels and stuff like that, the robotic stuff. Like, it has a sense of horror to it. It really... I don't know. I like this.
Somebody said not for Game Pass casuals. Definitely. If you're a Game Pass guy Yeah, it's
you
not.
know, and I don't want to get into that. I know it's late and stuff like that, but let's see if I can. I just want to finish this room. But yeah, like the thing is too, like again, like people, the $70 thing and all that. That's another story. But I do. The thing is that one comment to make about that is like when a game like this and a game like Ratchet and stuff like that launch day and date, then we could compare apples to apples, and we could say, hey, this game is $70 and this game is Game Pass.
Up?
But hey, what's up, BJ? How you doing? But yo, Link, yeah, man, we are wrapping this up. Did you play Returnal though before we go?
Oh yeah, did I play Returnal?
Yes. Give us your impressions on it. We're wrapping. Man, what time is that? Oh shit! Oh yeah, we're going 3 hours. So yeah, give us your impressions of it.
At first, when I first started the game, I got extremely frustrated with the whole dying and starting over. But you know, I had to get used to it. But I'm really enjoying this game.
Yeah.
So I like games that challenge me. You know what I mean? Like yes. So, and I like the risk versus reward. The whole everything about the game is risk versus reward. You know.
Yes. Very much so.
From what your parasite.
High risk, high reward.
Yes. High risk, high reward. Definitely.
So these people that want to sit there and complain about how difficult the game is and how it needs an easy mode and all this other stuff.
Oh damn!
It's just silly.
God.
You know what I mean?
I saw some of that. Some of that.
Yeah.
I enjoy a challenge. I like games that challenge me. And so I've thoroughly enjoyed this game. I have only made it to the second biome. I'm
nice
on the second boss, but I died to the boss the first time, and I was like, dang. So
I'm gonna tell you, man.
There's a shortcut that opens up so you can get,
right back. Yep.
Yes. And any advice I give to anybody in this game, and this is the one key advice I'll give to anybody playing this game, and this is Frog strategy. I beat a biome a day, so like I focus on one biome at a time. Once I beat that biome, if I die in the next biome and I got to start over from the ship, I take a break.
You take a break.
I take a break. I rethink about the biome and everything, and then I say, okay, I plan for a day, and I take that one day, and I'm like, I'm gonna focus on this third biome, and I'm focused on that boss, and focus because you got to learn everything is new. So that's the one thing I can say is like, take your time and enjoy like exploring, because risk reward, you definitely want to explore. Like you definitely want to take your time and explore, because you'll find things and you'll be like, should I go inside this door to try to see if I can get this challenge room? Because you get a lot of rewards from the challenge room.
Do.
Or do I just want to say screw it and just go to the next? So I definitely. Oh yeah, see those golden things, Jez?
Yeah, I know. I just got them. They give me my money.
Yeah, see. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's risk reward, and everybody's not gonna see those so far. Like I saw them like in the third biome. I didn't even know they existed. You see what I'm saying? So I'll definitely tell anybody who's playing this game, take your time, find your items you need, but very much explore. And if you look at something like that might be too challenged, take a break back from a little challenge room or whatever. It may not be a reward you need to necessarily get. And if you're not that skilled in going through that room, vice versa, also learn your enemies, because when I got to the third biome, I got a third biome, I realized like these enemies are so different than the first and the second. Like they don't play, they're different.
Yo, that fucking third biome is fucking nuts, man.
Yo, that third biome is.
If you think the first two biomes are hard, no, that third biome really is gonna kick your ass, bro.
Those sentinels, they will bust you up.
Yeah.
And here's another thing I love with the integration of this game with the online features, because I didn't know what it was. If you people in your friends list have this game and they're getting fat,
you're dying.
It's gonna let you know, like, hey, your body is in this area somewhere. I'm like, that's so fun. It's funny, but it's
I know, man. The next day, I got all these I'm like, what happened? Everybody dying.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I don't shame nobody. I just focus on it.
I don't shame. I just think it kind of gives me like, there's Jack Move. Jack Move came on. I think Jack Move is stuck to the third biome, and I'm gonna tell you that third biome is no joke, because the enemies there, they don't move like the other enemies in the first or the second biome. You're like, yo, So it switches it up, and that's what I love. Like, it's not consistently the same game. Like, you have to learn. You have to go in there. You have to do some trial versus, like you said, trial versus error. And, you know, like Link said, like, man, some people may feel like so discouraged.
Oh, man,
but once you beat that first boss, you're like, yo.
It's
and then
exhilarating.
once you beat the second boss and you get the grapple hook, you're gonna feel like you're a god. Because
yeah.
You're like, yo, I got a grapple hook now.
Go
That's
everywhere.
what makes you feel super strong. You're gonna be like, yo, I'm a god. I can do anything. Because it just like you start to realize like, yo, there's so much progression. Like you realize like there's so much more I haven't seen, and you just want to get further.
I just got a new gun. All right, they killed me. Son of a bitch. But anyway, guys.
Yeah, no, but, hold on. I was gonna say real quick, Link.
Son of a bitch, they killed me again.
No, I was gonna say Link. Helpful tips. Say, I just got the notification about Jess in the prison waste. But
oh shit! Yeah.
But hey, Link.
See?
My suggestion would be make sure you save your ether. Make sure.
Oh, yeah, I haven't been using it. I haven't missed it.
Yeah, I see mine.
Use it for the reconstructor.
Yeah,
right?
reconstructor.
Yes. Which gives you a respawn point at the same level, and you keep all your stuff. And also, a lot of the times when you go to the fabricator room, where they have different, different fabrications stations. A lot of times you will get once you get the astronaut. A lot of times the astronaut will appear at the fabrication room, and you can buy for 250 obolites. Right. So which revives you and stuff like that. So there's ways to kind of like mitigate you dying and restarting all over again. There's ways that the game gives you some item. Now the items are expensive and they're costly, right? But the game still gives, like right now I have 21 ether. Dude, so I have
stocking that up.
So I can keep using the reconstruct. Well, you can only use the reconstructor once until you fully reset.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, but it helps me. So if I go to a boss and I die, I at least can like restart at that same level and then, get a second chance of it instead of restarting from the beginning. Even though, and another thing too, if you die and restart from the beginning and you really want to hurry up and get back to the biome that you're at, you could just completely skip the overrun ruins, like just run through it, right? Without. Well, I'm talking about like run through it without engaging in enemies, right? Because by the time you get to the new biome that you are, right at the beginning, it's gonna give you every single time. It's gonna give you an item to boost up your weapon proficiency up a couple of levels. You're gonna get a healing consumable, right? And then you just go a little bit further up.
Grinding that level instead.
Yeah, no, and you'll find a weapon for that level right away. That's up to par for that level right away.
Yeah, your first try.
So because some people will die and they will start grinding the first level again, so they can go back to But you don't necessarily have to do that because the game sets up certain items to you at the beginning of each biome except the first one, to where it kind of helps you get kind of up to par to where you need to be without having to completely.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like that was the one of the major points I felt like, and you saw me go through this a bunch of times. The thing is like the game kind of like either the way the progression or the procedural stuff is done with the items and with the enemies, like it feels like it's definitely, it has some thought. It's not like, an enemy just and you just get some mindless kind of random stuff like, hey, I'm a level 5 and I'm just grabbing random level 1 stuff. Like, no, there is like a progression, and you could see as I'm playing the game, like the things that I'm getting are like progression, and it's things where they don't necessarily, it's not like collecting souls or like collecting power. It's getting abilities and seeing mix and matching to what you're going to do, what your intentions are. You want to stock up on health, then use the things that don't have malignancy for health, or build up your proficiency, or spend all your money on building your suit capabilities. Or you want to go in there with a powerful gun. Do where you have different abilities where you look for more of the treasure chests and you explore and do that stuff. That's where it really gives you the freedom to kind of play how you want to do it, but also there's luck involved and skill with just the shooting. I think it's a really great game, and again, this is not a review because we didn't finish it, go on that rant, but the thing is that we're having a good time with it. Again, no games for everyone. And, I say everybody goes buy it. But I tell you, the thing is that I'm enjoying it. And that's all I can say. And Chris is enjoying it. Frog's enjoying it. Link's enjoying it. And at first, yeah, if you want to look at it as you're spawning back and losing everything and that really pisses you off and you don't want to deal with it, then it's different. See? And I do think that they have something different here, something unique. And I do think that this is something that is definitely going to get built upon. I do think that other devs are going to steal some of the ideas in here. I think they really did the procedurally generated stuff where you go into a door. As I'm walking up to this door right now, I don't know what's behind this door right now. And you look in there and it's like, whoa, what is this layout? Like, they must have about 30 or 40, and they actually tell you in the thing of how many different types of platforms, and they're not kind of like just like, here's 3 little platforms and go. Like, these are big areas or small areas. It really depends. And the detail of each one, like the variation, is pretty incredible. Like, the scale of it is pretty incredible. Like, this one's a big one that you go down. And it really gives this thing for like these dungeons. And I think this is one of the best ways of procedurally generated dungeons that I've played with. I think, it almost reminds me of something where you remind me of if you were Left 4 Dead, where they had the game architect, where they'll kind of throw things at you at certain times and things like that, where there was some sort of AI that was thinking or doing something where it's like, hey, this next room, let's give them this. And I just think it's really interesting how they did it. And, loading in that stuff procedurally generated with the speed of the hard drives and just kind of no load times, and you see how quickly you're back in the game. Hey, the sound, the audio, they're doing what they're supposed to do.
Yeah.
First party.
If I had to wait in the loading screen with each dev, that would be extremely fucking annoying, dog.
It loads up to the main menu, and you're like
that. Yeah, that loading helps big time.
Yes, and it does.
Because it every time you die, you get the same scene where it's like she's
skip it,
crashing the lane, but you can skip all of that. You can skip that, and you can skip her waking up. And
it's
all
not
that shit.
Loading it. Yeah, it's not hiding.
Right, and get right back up. So I will say, like, for this genre, like last year, Hades kind of put it on the map for as far as like the critically acclaimed, because it was winning Game of the Year award, nomination for Game of the Year. So people, it's like
I never played.
People
Hades.
got more interested
like
in
this?
But right, and then this game. Well, Hades is a roguelite. This is a roguelike. Hades is very similar to it, but in Hades there are things that do progress over even if you die.
Okay.
It doesn't reset. That's a roguelite because it's light on the rogue elements.
Yeah.
But then the roguelites are the ones where like everything completely resets when you die. So
gotcha.
that is the main difference. But in this game, like I said, Hades kind of put that genre on the map for it being so critically acclaimed. This game is taking the genre to a whole new level because this is the first AAA of its kind.
Yeah, it's really incredible.
That's what's good for gaming. That's moving gaming forward. When you're doing something that hasn't really been done, and or you're like, hey, this is a genre, but people really haven't noticed it, and you do it in a way where people are like, okay, it has a recognition. I think that's where and how you move gaming forward, and I'm hoping to see that. On all consoles, not just Sony's side. I'm hoping to see Microsoft move the gaming genres and Nintendo move the gaming genres forward.
Microsoft's another story. We'll see. What I can say is that's hopes and prayers. What we're doing right now is we're playing it right now. Hopes and prayers, you're good. Yeah. That's for Bible Gaming on their website. We're going to be, this is actually real. We're playing it, controllers in hand. This is not a promise. This is actually, we're doing it right now. And I'm going to tell you, elements of this game, if aliens, things like it takes elements from other genres, but I'm gonna tell you they're gonna take some stuff from this game moving as something for next generation. But guys, I want to thank you again. What a show. We had over 80 people watching. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Thank you again. Let's go down the line. Link, since you came on, tell everybody where they can find you. And Link's left, so you can find him when he comes on the next show. Chris, tell them where they can find you.
You just find me on Twitter. All my stuff is on there, my PSN and everything. If anybody wants to game, Saltiest Gaming Podcast every Thursdays.
Yep.
And Planet Xbox every Wednesdays. And yeah, man.
Yep. Thank you.
It's always good to
Thank you for coming in, man.
It's always good to grind my gears.
Hey, man. It was awesome. We got the, and I was doing it while you guys were trying to talk about it. I was trying to do the live stream and actually playing and showing this stuff because, again, I think one of the things, and this is like something that we were alluding to too, when you have a review in progress or something like that, I think showing the game and having a live chat and people watching and asking questions, doing stuff, I think that those kind of things, and that's why Twitch and all that stuff has so much value, because people could just ask things and see what they can do rather than getting the whole, the whole personal opinion and economics and all this other shit.
And Discord's going to make it better.
And Discord's going to make it even better. Exactly. So, This is what I wanted to do is because, there's so many questions and opinions on this stuff. Just show the game, show what we like, and talk about there was some things that got stuck in a room. Nothing happened on this one. Crashing, I don't know. It didn't happen to me yet. But not saying it doesn't happen. But this is the game, and there's more to it. The second biome, and hey, I love the combat, and I think it's great. So, hopefully this helped out everybody just kind of looking at it and playing it and just watching and hearing Chris and Frog and myself talk about it. But I want to thank everybody again. Frogs, tell them where they can find you again.
Oh, man. So, you guys can find me in two places. Mostly on Twitter, at Frog Streams. But if you want to watch me stream in game, you can find me on YouTube. And it's going to be WYFB Crew. And on if you want to follow me in the WYFB Crew page on Twitter, it's WYFB Crew, the number 2. Go ahead and follow me. Some interesting content I'm trying to produce. It's gonna be fun. So definitely follow me. I enjoy talking about games. I enjoy playing games. I want the gaming industry to grow and get better. And I guess we'll just see. We'll see what happens.
Yep, we will see. I want to see in here, what's the PlayStation Now? Those games, they're there for tomorrow. But yeah, but J Barry just died. I just got the notification.
Yeah.
Barry died. Shout out to Barry.
That's not funny, but it's kind of funny.
Yeah, it is. I was funny that Chris was like, Jess just died. I'm like, yep, I just died. I got my ass handed to me. No, it sucks. Oh, those friggin' spider guys, man, on that open level, man. They throw.
Look, I don't laugh at you guys when when we're talking, but when it pops up my thing, I crack up laughing because I'm like,
it is funny. It is funny. And you know what's funny is the night that it came out.
You know the struggle,
dude. The night I didn't even know that. It asks you in the beginning if you want to have those notifications. I'm like, what's this? Deals and stuff like that, whatever. And then I went to bed. I woke up the next day, and I was like, what the hell are these notifications on PlayStation? And it just was like everybody died. Everybody they're dead.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, it's awesome. And I haven't. One last thing is that I haven't seen a part where I found the body and it asked to avenge the person yet. Have you seen that yet? Because they've shown that in the stream.
No, I think that's I haven't. I'm in the third biome. I haven't got. I think that's late. I think that's the second act.
You can do it in the first.
No, I saw them doing it in the first.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it bugged? Because I
do it. You don't want to do it.
But what is it? You find the dead body, and then it says, "Do you want to scavenge them or avenge them?"
Yeah, I haven't ran into it.
I haven't done it yet.
Dead body.
Yeah, I ran into only one, and I'm pretty sure it's an avenge one because this big creature appeared, and he was red, and there were some other creatures, and I had to fight him, and he kicked my butt. That was in the first biome. That was right. I was saying at the very beginning.
So you walked up to the corpse, and it gives you two options to either take their stuff, but you got to use ether or Avenger.
Yes.
You actually did that?
Yes.
So you did do it.
I haven't ran into that. I haven't ran into it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure because it's big, and maybe I might be tripping, but it was this big red freaking dog looking thing. He was red, and he was just chasing me around.
No, that's a mini boss. But no, what they showed in the stream was that they found the body. They followed where the body was. No, they followed where the body died, and then when they found the body was dead, they said, "Do you want to scavenge them or avenge them?"
Yeah, it gives you two options.
Okay, and maybe I didn't do it.
Yeah, it gives you two options, and then if you scavenge them, you have to waste ether to scavenge them. But if you don't have the ether or you don't want to waste an ether, you could avenge them, and then some type of little mini boss or whatever comes out of them, and then you fight that.
Well, I might be.
I
think that may unlock in the second act.
Yeah, see, Frog, I think it might be a scanner or something like that you might get, and then when you see the dead bodies, maybe you could you could do that ability. But anyway, I saw it in the preview thing. But anyway, guys, it's late. I want to thank everybody for coming on. This has been an awesome gaming Grindhouse. Hopefully, we had tons of fun content. We had some opinions, everything, and some gameplay and talking about games. Awesome time. Thank you again for your time. And everybody, hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Check it out here. Keep it locked to this channel and to my fellow friends' channel, Chris and Frogs, and tune in with that notification button to know when we go live next. But thank you again for awesome gaming Grindhouse, and we are out.